Right, I thought it was in the other one. I apologize. Oh, how did this get turned off? Uh-oh, you got an echo on your end, too. Whoops. How are you? How was your week? We're streaming.
Oh, it's been interesting. How about yourself?
Interesting is a good word. Yes, it is.
Interesting is an acceptable term.
Yes. Got a lot done around the house and out at the... Oh, I have ideas for the Franken truck. How are your hands doing?
The barometric pressure today has been in flux.
God damn it.
So it was rather interesting. I started the morning pretty swelled up. Checked with my AI companion device. She graciously told me that the barometric pressure was in change, and therefore, yes, you can expect that your rheumatoid arthritis will give you some kind of notification.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's great. Hurrah.
It's a little better this afternoon. I worked in the shop for a little bit after I finished work. Since if I have to walk with a cane, by God, it'll be my cane.
It's bothering your hips too?
Right hip, left knee. Every place that I ever got injured, playing football in high school and college, and then on the truck, is where the rheumatoid arthritis is going to come back to just remind me. So, it tis what it tis, I guess.
There is that.
But Brother Charlie was good enough to send me a care package.
Nice. Oh, is the author joining us tonight?
No, I gave Conan, his name is Conan Barongas, so he's got 8 books out.
Good for him.
He works with me at Common Spirit Health.
Oh.
And he works in end-user services. He's originally from Hawaii, but he lives and works in Nevada.
Well, mahalo to him.
All of his murder mysteries take place on the islands. So he's self-published. He's got everything up on Amazon. Everything's available right now. And his books, he's got his website. But he didn't know how to do this side of it. So I sat down with him one day after some meetings. I just said, look, let Papa see what he can come up with. And I told him, there's actually like 8 or 10 podcasts out there at different levels that cater to new writers, new mystery writers, things like that, which I thought was really cool. So I sent him a bunch of that.
Nice.
And said, reach out to these people, see what they say.
Yeah.
Because there was one podcast that had on their webpage an entire application form. What books have you written? What genre are you doing? And I just thought that's a great way for people like him
to
get moving.
Out.
He's had some good sales through Amazon. And Amazon is publishing them hardback and paperback and Kindle. But he didn't know how to sell himself, because I kept telling him, here in Phoenix, we have places like the Poison Pen, which is an independent bookstore. And one of the things that they do is if you're a writer, you've got a book, oftentimes you go down there and talk to them, and they're like, yeah, come on down. We'll put it up on the website. Yeah. People come in and talk to you. Go for it.
A lot of the times, yeah. And there's actually a large writing artist music community in Phoenix. There always has been, because we're a stopping point on the way to LA. They need to make money to move into LA, so everybody lives here for 6 months to 3 years, and then they take off.
Yeah, or they can live here and go back and forth. So you can afford to live here.
Yeah.
And in the old days, it didn't cost that much to go back and forth to LA for a day or two and then come back. Not so much now.
Well, I mean, it's only 6 hours to LA. It's not that far.
I remember the good old days of the original $19 flights on Southwest to Los Angeles.
Oh,
and then
that
they
was
went
a
up to
long.
$29.
Yeah.
But that was a big part of it, was you could live here. And as long as you didn't have to be in LA for the whole week, it was affordable for you to, I can live here. I can go to LA for the day, do what I need to do, and come back. And that was before Zoom and all the rest of
all
that.
All that other stuff. Yeah. It's a different world now.
I remember as a young man getting together with buddies because we wanted to go to LA to go to some of the sci-fi model shops and some of the specialty stores that were in, Little Tokyo and all the rest of that stuff. You wanted to go down there, and you took a big suitcase, you paid your $20, you flew out, bought everything you wanted, put it in the suitcase, and flew back.
Back in the day. What are we? 7 minutes in? Hello and welcome to the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. I am Bill Kelly, Hornswoggle the Great, King of Fools, King of Ham, Peasant Hero. I do a lot of stuff. And with me I have
Rob the Blacksmith, currently learning how to make canes for himself.
We adapt, we evolve, we overcome. I think the
That's
Marines
right.
do that too.
That's right. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Walk in, fuck shit up, and walk out.
Yeah. But episode 67. Well, we thought we were going to have a writer to interview tonight, but author, excuse me. I remember talking to Simon, a writer friend of mine. I published comic books. That doesn't count. Yes, it does. No. Anyway,
if it gets people to read, I consider it authorship.
Yeah, really. At least he's reading. That's what I used to hear. it's comic books. At least he's reading. It's Dungeons and Dragons. At least he's reading.
That's right. Coherent sentences. They're put together in a standard. He can go ahead and diagram those sentences for his English class. It's acceptable.
Yeah. To be a player in Dungeons and Dragons, if you're a fighter, barbarian, you don't really need to read. Somebody can tell you everything. If you're a thief or a druid or a cleric or a wizard or an illusionist or some kind of scholarly kid, you're going to have to read. If you're the DM, that's mostly reading. Being a DM is kind of like being a rock star. You spend a lot of time idle and a lot of time mastering your craft to go and have 1 8-hour period of awesome on a Saturday, and then you gotta wait and study and master your craft again until it's game time. 8 hours of awesomeness, and then go and study and put. I didn't know that.
Yep. Good old days.
DMs put in like lawyer time, as they would in a case, in creating a world, and because the problem is that you can't write a D&D campaign like you could a novel or a story. The players don't function that way. Your main characters have minds of their own. So you have to come up with 8 plots for every location that is there because when you want them to focus on a main story, they don't give a shit about that. But what did you say? What one random guy said a random thing in a bar? We have to do an archaeological examination. Dude, it's nothing. It was like one little thing that I made up, like, while we were talking, and I figured I'd throw that in there. And now you assholes have spent 2 hours trying to figure out what... It's nothing! It's a blank! It's a ruse!
No, it's side quest now. And now, great, now I gotta figure out what hidden gem am I gonna put at the end of this. Damn it!
Now I have to create a whole other story on a joke that I made that they took seriously instead of laughing about, and now it's part of the story.
The only
I shot
group
myself in...
Well, I was going to say, the only group that has it harder are the true... what is it? The off-the-cuff comics. And you have those comedy troupes that just absolutely operate off the cuff. Okay, give us 3 things. Okay, broccoli and a shovel and 3 little old ladies waiting for a bus. Yeah, now we gotta come up with something.
Hello, Dolores. So it always amazed me how no matter how you packaged the main story, that characters, the players, because they are DM, some of them are DMs as well, they would always take the side plots as gospel and then just basically ignore the main plot. Like, we'll get back to it. Like, I'll mop the kitchen later. I'll scoop the cat boxes this afternoon. It's the same kind of. It's like, no, this is just fluff so that you can get out of here.
But every time, if you've ever sat as the DM, you knew that it was coming, because every time you sat as a player, you knew in your own mind that you would have thrown a monkey wrench somewhere.
Yep.
You don't know which. Throw a monkey wrench somewhere, but dangle that carrot just enough to get them there. And so everybody's going to pick up on that and go, oh, he said pink sky. Now we've got a problem.
You're right, because I do dwell in side plots a while, but if it's a lull period and I'm just trying to move you guys on, and then suddenly you're what? No. Yeah, really? No. So it does happen.
That becomes it. I mean, we as a DM, you tend to point to things. You tend to point to quote unquote mundane things that are intentionally there to draw the party in a direction.
Yeah.
But when you have done that and you've shown that you have a propensity to do that, you can trip yourself up by throwing in that little mundane off the cuff thing that you think is funny because you know the story, you know the storyline, and it has nothing to do with the guy at the end of the bar who happened to order a pale pelican because you thought that would be funny instead of saying a gray goose.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But now
that guy knows something. He must know somebody who owns the bar. No, he's just a random bar patron. I rolled it up myself. No, he's in the crime syndicate. You're going to spend 20 minutes torturing this guy and get nothing. And not only that, it's going to burn game to net. That's at one point. I'm going to go, look, as the DM, this is just me. Just please, can we move on? And then the party normally goes, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Because you're right, you do. You get all like paranoid of what the DM is capable of, so you start to not trust him. And especially if you've gone on a campaign with a DM and then a new one has started with new people, most like Rob and other DMs that are worth their salt, they're going to change their strategy because they know that you know. They know that you know, that we know, that I know, that they know. so that he's gonna mix it up. You think you're playing Stratego, but he's actually playing Connect 4. Very sneaky.
That's right. He's playing original 3-dimensional chess, and you're still over here contemplating your naval lint, trying to figure out where the table is.
Yeah. It's on that kind of level. So it's always interesting what a party runs with. Because a lot of the times, if you're a really, like, Rob will sit and just listen to us pontificate until we get out of control, and then he'll be like, so the guy does this. Like, oh, okay, we all have to react to that. We can't sit around and, what is it?
Because he knows
hypothesize.
he has most of our group is very cerebral in how we do things, because of the fact that we have played for so long and we understand the nuances that do exist. And the other thing that gets us in the Castles and Crusades versus Dungeons and Dragons versus other systems that we've all played is we've played these other systems that are more involved, more elaborate, more dynamic than what the Castles and Crusades are. On purpose. They're intentionally done that way.
Some of them, yeah.
The system has to grow to survive. It will not. Dungeons and Dragons would not have lasted as long had it not grown over years. It would not have as many spin-offs or similar systems that were developed based off of that original core.
No.
If it wasn't for the fact that it could grow, and it was a dynamic system with intent. But we're now back to an earlier version, a simplified version that allows for a little faster gameplay, a little more fun, a little more banter around the table, like what we used to have when we were younger with the earlier version. And we have to remind ourselves, and Rob is good about kind of taking us back. Oh, yes, you're right. In Dungeons and Dragons 5e, you could do this, 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 and this. But remember, we're here. This doesn't go to that level, so you're down here, and you guys have to advance a little bit further to get similar skills, attributes, functionality,
like
whatever.
That. Well, our party is a good, and I was sent Jess, who I worked with out at the Pirates Plunder this year, because she was the one that was in a couple of my videos, because Cece started working, but she had a scheduling conflict, and we really need like 5 people to run that shop. So Jess was doing parasols, and the very first day, because she and her husband and all the rest of the group came in, and I met all them, and they're a gaming group too, so hopefully we can do a combined gaming thing. But her first day, we were getting all ready, and we were in the back room, and it's like, I thought you said you didn't do fair. No, I've never worked at fair. I've only been a customer. Well, then you must buy like 1 or 2 things every year, and you've been coming out for a while because all of your costume is veteran. She's like, that's exactly what happened. I would buy this and I would buy that. I'm like, that's the smartest way to do it. All these people go out there the first year and they're like, I'm going to get all decked out. And they're like, holy crap, it's thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's all handmade, guy. Yeah. It's all handmade, dude. So,
yeah.
Well, like, most people just buy shirt and pants, or they make them. And that's enough. You're already accepted. You don't have to have this gauche, $5,000 doublet on. That's great that you bought it. It's absolutely beautiful. But I'm just as excited to see a guy in a chemise as I am as a guy in a $5,000 doublet.
I used to love it when you would find somebody new who was brand new. In the SCA, it was the same idea. I mean, you could go out to an SCA war, you could spend thousands of dollars, you could buy all the goods.
Yeah.
But if you started out with somebody, if you walked in as a newbie, and you were brought in by somebody in a group, more often than not, you got 2 introductions. You would come in and they would show you they would take you to Disneyland and they would walk you through, you get to see everything. And you go, oh my gosh, I like that. And I want, that would cost me $1,000. And they say, wait, after the event, I'm going to take you to an even more magical place where you can then have all of these things that you can afford. And then we would take them to the Goodwill, the Savers, SAS Fabric. And you
Salvation Army, the 3.
Yeah. You like that pirate shirt? Come here. Well, what are we doing in the ladies section? I'm going to show you. This lady's blouse is the pirate shirt you were looking at.
Yeah. With the exception of the brassiere, all women's fashion was at one time men's fashion. But we gave that crap up because it's too expensive and too much to maintain. So it's better to just get with a woman and then buy all that crap for her. There you go, honey.
Just walk through.
You need more base and powder and eyeliner.
Here's your puffy shirt. Here's your boots. We can find you your boots, and we'll take the damn high heels off, and I'll show you how to make them look like what you want.
And honestly, the best. Well, back in the day, in the 90s, there was either Windwalker or Bald Mountain. Windwalker is still out there and still together, and traditionally they've gotten a lot better now. And I've worn pairs of Windwalkers. They're amazingly comfortable. But the word on the street was that Windwalker were actually better for women, the way they made them, the way they made the shape of the moccasin and where Bald Mountain were for men. And I ordered a pair of Bald Mountains and paid on them and then stopped paying on them. And then somehow my mom found an invoice and started paying on the boots for me, and I'm like, that company closed 5 years ago. You're throwing money into the wind. You need to talk to me before you do something like that. At one point I was trying to get a refund from them, and then I gave up. Oh well, they would have looked awesome, but I'm never going to get them.
Well, that was like a lot of that stuff too. A lot of those guys that were doing the Renaissance festivals, the wars and things like that. Yeah. They also did the Single Action Shooter Society, and they did the Mountain Men program.
Oh yeah, you see
them. And they were the same patterns. They were the same boots, all the rest of it, because it was the same design. Yeah. And so you would come across that stuff all over the place. But that was when you really had money. I mean, 35 years ago, that was a $400 pair of boots.
Yeah.
And it was handmade.
Which would be about $900 today.
Yeah. And he sat down and he measured your foot. You stood up and you sat down and he measured it again. And he made you flex your foot, and he made you do all because he wanted to know.
Yeah.
He didn't want you sending those back or coming to him next year and saying, well, I need you to resole the soles. No, you don't.
When I got fitted,
you don't need these touched.
When I got fitted at Bald Mountain, they put like the surgical socks that came out of a box, and they put those on you, and then they duct taped you. And I was lucky in it to get a beautiful, very endowed woman who knew exactly what she was doing, and she wore glasses too. So I'm like, yeah. Anyway, we don't need to hear about my perversions. But
whatever you would like.
Whatever you want me to do, I will do it. You want me to jump off the roof? Yes, ma'am. Yes, my queen. No, she was totally cool. Wasn't like that. And it was. But only in my mind. So,
yeah.
They, and Windwalker does the same thing. Duct tape, and, they want to make sure, because shoes mean so much in everyday life, but even more out at Ren Fair. That's why all this year Frenchie is hey, sneakers! Because I would wear my New Balance. Dude, say what you want, but you want me to be able to walk around here at 3 p.m., right?
Oh, yeah. that was the nice thing about being the Northman in the SCA. Was because it was very easy for me, because I would get rabbit pelts and you tie them up like gators, and you could walk around and nobody would say anything because they were tied up, they covered your shoes, and everybody looked at them. They looked like fur boots from the distance. They were hotter than hell.
For a group who wants to be more aesthetic, most of you bastards ran around in sunglasses, so I don't want to hear it. Or, even better, you would come to Ren Fair wearing sunglasses and then rub it in our faces that we can't wear them. You know what? Fuck you.
That was the funny thing. We had the historic folks out there that were so much trouble. And they would come out and they would start pointing at things. And it would get interesting because I had studied my own family history and culture, and I would sit with guys like John McDonald and some of these old guys who were these were John had degrees in history and philosophy, as well as all the other things that the federal government paid for, so that he could do things that make them look like they were accidents.
Please don't quote us on that.
He could sit and scare these guys by just sitting there and talking with them. Well, actually, what time frame are you? Oh, no, see, you're off by about 200 years. What you should have done, your stitching is wrong, and this should be here, and you should be doing it. And then they would all go, oh,
they didn't make this kind of buckle in Scotland. They actually made it in Germany 300 years after your character was born. That would have been awesome, because you had individuals out at Ren Fair that were ortho-Nazis, but only the local yokels were really keeping it, period. Well, that's kind of your job. You're in the Ren Fair village. And all day they cook and they make stuff, and there's blacksmithing going on there too, just like the other 3 blacksmithing places. And the women are cooking and the kids are playing, and it's supposed to be a replica of a functional village. So we kind of want you guys to be authentic. But I don't really care if the guy playing a guitar that was made 10 years ago has the right boots or not, He gets a pass.
And I'm not going to get excited that he's using a $200 Grish when truly he should be using a $5,000 mandolin that was properly made in Germany, as opposed to.
I'm not.
It's like, no.
Yeah. I don't really care that he has a guitar strap with the Beatles written on it. It doesn't bother me at all. And he's tried to cover it with fabric, and, well, he did a poor job.
Yeah.
Now he's playing green sleeves, and
and we're having fun. That's the entire point of this exercise. I remember going to a lot of the historic museums around the state in California and things like that. And that was the funny thing, is you would go up to Pioneer Village and the blacksmith would be sitting there, and he would be done as much as he could in period clothing from the early 1800s to the mid 1800s, but he's also still going to be wearing a pair of steel-toed boots. He's also still going to have his watch on, so he knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to stand there and tell him, hey, you really should. No, go find someplace else to be an ass.
They didn't have Casio back in 1855. No, they didn't. You're right. It's the argument of
we'll just call this a.
What period of history?
Casio and Son.
Casio and Son. Brand new. Casio. He's great. I just met him. Is this new idea called digital. I can't wait to get excited about it.
You came all the way from New York City.
New York City! Get a rope. I miss those commercials. Paste pecan sauce. This ain't paste pecan sauce. Time to make the donuts.
But we
already made the donuts. Oh.
We haven't spoken of what is the day today.
Oh my God, I'm not joking, dude. There's 23 fucking things. Okay, May 5th, which Revenge of the 5th. I wore a Star Wars shirt. Did you? Did you?
No,
No?
I have my Fab Rats.
Fab Rats. Right on. We love Fab Rats. Even Pete is a fan of Fab Rats, which surprised me because usually he doesn't want to watch a video that's over, 4 minutes long. It's like, I don't care. Like, okay. So, it's... okay. National Cartoonists Day. And 22 others. Strap in, kids. I'll speed it up. Revenge of the Sith. International Midwives Day. National Astronauts Day. World Asthma Day. National Hoagie Day. Oh my god, I love hoagies. World Portuguese Language Days. A day. It's a... I don't know. Childhood Depression Awareness Day. World Hand Hygiene Day. Okay. Silence the Shame Day. National Chipotle Day. Great Lakes Awareness Day. Nail Day. Okay. Poem on Your Pillow Day. Ew. Oh, National Concert Day. National Foster Care Day. That's Museum Lovers Day. Oh my god, I love it. The museum could be about stationery. And you'd be like, really? They made it that year? Sorry. National Teacher Day. Why 23 on May 5th? Most days have 4. National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. Okay, that is a big one. I didn't know I was going to follow up something serious with jokes because I'm not reading ahead. Mm-hmm. African World Heritage Day. Hug a Shed and Take a Selfie Day. Cinco de Mayo. Congratulations. Fuck the French. They shouldn't be in Mexico anyway. Okay. Netherlands.
I was going to say, Bill, from all of us San Patricios, right? All of us green blood Irish in the Southwest. Slancha.
Slanche. Cheers. Nostrovia. Salud. Water Saving Week, Deaf Awareness Week. May 4th through 6th is National Golf Day. Are you fucking kidding me? Golf gets 3 days. Why don't libraries get 3 days? Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, golf. If you're playing golf right, it should take you longer to play, unless you're playing rush golf, which I don't like to play.
What does Donnie say? You're not doing golf right if you don't start out with a case each and end up with nothing by the 18th hole? You missed! Drink 2 beers! Oh, shit. I don't want to play golf with Donnie. I love Donnie, but I don't want to play golf with Donnie from all the stories I've heard. Didn't they roll a golf course? You have to have at least 2 cigars with you. Yeah, and I don't know anything else.
2 cigars and designated driver.
Yeah. What do you know about golf? Well, I played miniature golf all my life. Tin Cup, Happy Gilmore. Never mind.
Good. You're the designated driver. Here we go.
Yeah. I don't want to be the... So that was a lot for May 5th and the week of May 5th. And what is this? Silence the Shame. Oh, this must have been made a long time ago because it talks about don't be ashamed of needing mental health. Well, the world we live in, people go, my therapist, and that's a normal sentence. If you said my therapist in 1980, people would be like, you're what?
There's still a bad stigma.
Is there really?
Around mental health right now. It's really unfortunate. We're seeing it. I'm from my company side. We're seeing more and more problems with being able to provide it because it's not as welcomed by some of the payers. We'll put it that way, or it's not as supported by some of the payers.
Well, that's kind of out of the scope of like talking at work or talking with a friend of a friend, or that's kind of what I was speaking of. I wasn't speaking of it in the actual. Well, Cigna has decided not to do this and this.
Exactly, they're not supporting. A lot of the payers are not supporting it, or it's becoming more and more difficult to get it through the processing. The facilities are out there going crazy trying to provide. And just as a horrible aside, I get a lot of industry magazines, electronic magazines.
Electronic magazines?
I get the updates on what's happening in the IT world and in hospital medical side, as well as what's happening on the medical side. So they talk about it. And there have been a number of mental health facilities in just the last 4 months across the country that have had to reduce services or shut down services because of lack of funding to support, lack of payment from the payers. And it's kind of a frightening thing. A lot of people are afraid and scared and nervous right now anyways. So now would be the time you would really want to kind of, let's make it a little more easy.
Yeah.
No, we're going to make it a little more difficult.
Well, for the most part, men could use therapy. Probably wouldn't hurt. But a lot of the time, we just need a campfire. Just need to sit around and talk about, you are not going to believe what she said this. I can't believe what my kid did on Thursday. And I don't want to turn this into I'm going to stop right there. So.
That's absolutely correct, though.
I know, but I was going to go to the other end of the spectrum, and then we're going to get emails. You sexist! Kinda, but not really, because my sister's my best friend.
For the ladies, because we don't know how much the ladies still get together. It used to be that the ladies had
bridge, and knitting, and quilts.
Right, something. They would get together. There'd be a girls' night, whatever the case was.
Now
but the guys did. We don't seem to have that as much, or at least not in what our group seems to see. We have our D&D game. We have this.
Well, that's not fair, because women are in the D&D group. But I would go so far as to say that women are totally welcome at bowling and pool. But traditionally, it's more of a boys' club. And bowling and pool have kind of taken a backseat to video games, which is sad, because unless you're playing a video game where there's team against team, if you're just randomly out there like fucking Fortnite where everybody's killing I don't play Fortnite. It's wrong for me to say that. But when you're in a bowling team, you're with the together, and even if you're just hanging out with your friends, it's more of a camaraderie than like laser tag, for example.
And it's an opportunity to discuss. It's like what we used to get away with hammer. When people would show up, if we get 3 or 4 guys show up for hammer therapy over here, or we have the opportunity. The D&D games, even when the ladies are there, we can still talk about things and commiserate, and we can still speak on things, and we have the opportunity to step outside for a bit and enjoy ourselves.
You can't really say that D&D is a boys' club, because right now we have 3 females, and I'm trying to bring 2 more in, and Clay's trying to bring another one in. So that's more like a grand escape for everyone.
We get the opportunity as a group to commiserate and to exchange and to speak on things that we wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit down because we don't have the chance to sit around. Like you said, we don't have the campfire with everybody there. We don't have, as Grandpa used to say, we don't have the pickle barrel down at the hardware store where everybody sits around it on a Sunday afternoon.
So, did you see that Steve took that job and he fucked it up? Yeah, I had to go and fix everything. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
I just picked a random name. That's Joe. I just pick random names. They're not designated to one person. Sorry, I don't. Because
was the
obviously
old
I have
days.
friends on my friends list that are named Steve, and I wouldn't sit there and make fun of them if I didn't love them. You know.
Because we still, to your point, on those major multiplayer games, like you said, unless you're playing a team, you don't have the opportunity to have 5 or 6 of your buddies, guys or gals, that you can just, you're talking about the game, and then you can unload on somebody during a lull sequence and say, this shit happened. And everybody goes, oh, damn, well, let me help you. Let me listen. Let me throw in my 2 cents.
Yeah. It would be great to,
with the beers. You know, you see it on King of the Hill. Everybody's out back. They're therapists.
It is.
We don't have much.
Yep. This has become a therapy session. I mean, like even tonight. I mean, hopefully Clay will join us later, and Jingo said that he should be here in 15 minutes, and Chris said that he would join us later. But I don't, unless something happens, I'm going to be here every time. Unless you have a phone call or life interrupts, you're going to be here every time. But I don't mind filling in for a half an hour or doing something like that. But for the most part, it's not, we all started this together as the council. So I feel wrong just like doing the Bill show. Hey! That's not fair to everybody, I could do that on my own channel. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, it would be cool if we could do more of a live. So when Rob has his live stream and people chime in during the live stream, this then becomes that opportunity for others to have that camaraderie, to be able to say, hey, this.
Jingo's got followers on Twitch. I don't. I've only got 22. He's got 300. Oh my god. Oh, so-and-so's watching us. Oh, yay! Jingo's going to be joining us soon. Huzzah! He says, I just got home. He's getting, gotta eat. That'll be on. We understand. I had dollar chimichangas from Walmart for dinner. Yeah, that won't come back to haunt me at all. It tasted like meat, and those were definitely beans or insect eggs. I'm not sure.
Same protein.
Don't worry. Used to have an iron stomach. Not a problem. Well, now that I'm getting older, it can be, but go ahead, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Isn't that what whiskey and meat are for? Whiskey and meat drowns out anything.
Pretty much. It's all the alcohol. It's that bourbon will just kind of, hey, I'm in my house. I don't have to drive anywhere. Life is good.
Yeah, that's one thing. I have my Granite Mountain. There's a distillery that operates up in the Prescott area called Granite Mountain Distillery. They have whiskey and rum, I believe.
You have my strict attention. Go ahead.
When I was up there for the Eric Marsh Foundation, we did that donation. We went by, and they have a bar right up. I think it's 2 doors up from the Eric Marsh.
That is dangerous, but okay.
So
you just drove 2 hours. You want a drink? That's not a good idea.
Oh no, I bought a bottle.
Oh, okay.
Brought it home so I could have it with my cigars.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
The bartender was asking about it, which one we wanted, and I think I got the 10 or the 12-year-old, and he said, and I told him, I like it with my cigars, I enjoy it. He says, oh, well then you want this one, and you're going to like it with a medium-bodied cigar. And I said, that I appreciate. It's a nice one, it's a good cigar, or it's a good whiskey, and for lack of a better note, it has what I would consider to be, it's not a malted note or a malted tone, so it's not a Scotch style, but it gives the hint of kind of the high grass, the high plain area up in Flagstaff. Taste that reminds me of the high grass in the spring up in the Prescott Valley, Prescott area. So I really enjoy it. It's a little different. It doesn't taste as muted as things like Jack Daniels and some of those. I enjoy it. It's a nice flavor.
I agree with you. Also, to the Jack Daniels is okay, but it seems to me that it's a bit more expensive than all the others, and you don't get a bigger. Okay. Sorry for those of you who don't care or whatever. When you're buying marijuana, if you're buying different kinds of marijuana, they're priced differently because they have more terpenes and THC and the psychoreactive chemicals in them that get you higher or this or that. For example, if you're buying just like a wedding cake derivative, which is a sativa, well, it started out as an anyway, it's more of a hybrid now, and it's kind of a common thing, or getting one of the other things that's in one of the stores, as opposed to buying Granddaddy Purple, which has like probably the highest amount of indica that you can get without it being altered with other stuff or moon rocks or crystals or infused or all of that. Just the straight off the plant and then cured, and then boom, it's good to go. So it's going to be more expensive because you're getting more bang for your buck, as opposed to, excuse me, Jack Daniels is okay, but Crown Royal knocks you off the planet in a way that's specific to just Crown Royal. I've watched that liquor give Alzheimer's patients the ability to have coherent thoughts and philosophical conversations, and I've also watched it destroy lives. So, you know, it's equally as dangerous, and it should be as equally respected, but what, for 16 ounces, Crown Jim Beam's, or well, for that Jim Beam's like 16 bucks. Jack Daniels is $24.99, but Crown Royal's like 34. But you get what you pay for. It's the difference between Canadian Mist, which has given me a terrible hangover almost every time I've drank it, and Crown Royal, which, if I could stay conscious enough to drink most of the bottle, I'm fine the next day, is shooting a bullet and throwing it. It's... am I talking out of my ass here, Rob, or...
Not at all. And it depends on a number of things. It's the mash. So what is their original recipe? The time that they spend to develop the mash. How long do they let it run? How long do they let it ferment before they start to turn it? Before they start to actually do the distillation? Before they start to heat it, cook it, carry it through, and then redistill it? I'll tell you, Jack Daniels has always been... It was a little bit harsh, but a little bit muted, if that makes sense. Yeah. When Uncle Nearest came out, Uncle Nearest, the original tale, Uncle Nearest was the gentleman that taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. The family of Uncle Nearest, he was a slave. His family still had his original recipes. And they went through some back and forth. What I understand from the story, from what was put out to the public, the family went through some back and forth with Jack Daniels and asked, we would like to, because they had the information, we would like to recreate Uncle Nearest's original recipe, which is not Jack Daniels' recipe. It's Nearest's recipe. We would like to bottle it and sell it. We're not going to claim that it is Jack Daniels, but we're going to tell the tale that Uncle Nearest was one of the ones that taught Jack how to make this. Jack Daniels said, that's fine. Our only request is that they not be sold side by side. When they're sold in a store, they should be separated. The story can be understood, but, you know, shelf space is sacred. And I bought a bottle of Uncle Nearest when I heard the tale. And it's made in more of a boutique style. It's made a much smaller batch. But I tend to like Uncle Nearest better. It's still kind of a it's an American whiskey. It really is. So it's not as reserved and as refined as some of the older whiskey. It doesn't get barrel aged as long, but they also don't chemically age it, from what I understand. Maybe misquoting that.
Oh.
But I enjoy Uncle Nearest more than I do Jack Daniel.
Yeah.
I tend to go for some of the smaller bourbons, ryes, and whiskeys in the U.S. whiskeys.
Come here.
And then I like the more aged ones. So, when I have an extra, so rarely, $100 or so, I'll spend.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I'll put aside money to try and get a bottle.
When I have an extra $5, I'm elated. I can't even fathom having an extra
bottle, of the Colonel. There was an outfit years back that got permission to do a blend that they called the Duke, and it was specifically supposed to be a blend that was similar, or might have been one of the blends that John Wayne had liked. And so this was an homage to him. It was very good. It was a little sharp. It was younger, but it was good, and it didn't taste like Jim Beam. It didn't taste like Jack Daniel. So I tend to enjoy those. I've had some that I have purchased that are still sitting in the cabinet because I don't go back to them.
Gotcha.
And those I save for people who say they like them.
I got the honey kind because it was only $14.99 at Walmart, and it seems watered down, but it doesn't have a honey taste as much as it has a honey consistency. If that makes sense.
Leaves a little bit of a coating, but it's not overpowering.
It's like putting maple syrup in. Sorry.
The ones that you should try, there is a Whiskey Brothers blend. And they blend it. They have a couple of different ones. They have a chocolate whiskey, which I'm not as enthusiastic about, but I was gifted their pineapple whiskey, which really surprised me in how the pineapple actually took some of the sharpness out of the whiskey. A lot of people don't like American whiskey because it tends to be sharp or it has that burn. And people don't like that, and they think the burn overpowers the flavor. The pineapple that they use, whatever amount they use for it, tends to soften that a little bit, which I think works very well with it. I was surprised. But it's not something you would think about. Somebody says, well, we're going to give you a peanut butter whiskey. You're going to go, what?
Actually, no, I would be very happy because I've had several of those, and holy crap, they are good. I consider you an aficionado, but I am not. I don't have the knowledge of working in the industry or the wherewithal to taste all the different ones. I use a lot of what you tell me and what others have told me and my own experience, but I consider that limited because there's whiskey that rock stars and people like Jack Daniels is probably the most popular whiskey, but Crown Royal is a lot better. But then on the other end of the spectrum, Canadian Mist and Evan Williams, they're what you get what you pay for. There's a reason they're $12 for a big bottle. You're gonna get a headache later.
Remember that most liquor stores, the shelf space dictates what is the perceived quality, and then a lot of the things like the McGregor whiskeys or McGregor Scotch and the Canadian Mist whiskeys and a lot of those become the well. Yep. That's the stuff that is it's inexpensive enough that it is what is used in fact.
You know what you're
and it's
getting.
A mixer.
Yeah.
Those are the mixers. Those are what they're intended for. They're not necessarily used as a standalone, they're used to make a whiskey and Coke or a whiskey sour. They're used to make whatever the drink is that somebody wants, unless that person has a specific taste that they want. Oh, I want the Pendleton whiskey sour. I want to have the Woodford old fashioned. I want to, whatever the case may be. And then they'll call that particular maker's blend or that particular maker's whiskey for it. Yeah. I just had a conversation Sunday. I had to go down to Tucson for the Scottish Rite, and I got to speak with one of the Grand Lodge officers.
Nice.
And one of the things that he wants to do is get a Grand Master's whiskey. So he's been talking with a couple of the Arizona distilleries to try and see if he can't get a barrel that he can then get bottled as the Grand Master's whiskey.
That'd be cool.
And, that would make it a nice special. So there would only be and I couldn't tell you anymore. I want to say, for some reason, it sticks in my head that you could get, God, I can't remember how many bottles come out of a barrel anymore, or a proper barrel. Anyway, that's what he was looking to do, was to get just a barrel's worth of whiskey bottled with his label for the Grand Lodge, so that he could then sell that as a way to make money for Masonic charity.
Yeah, to generate revenue to help out families and the community. And
that was something we talked about. And in fact, something we had talked about was the brother that has the cigar company had said that he would love to do a special blend for the master to go with the whiskey to be able to sell, so then you'd have a box of cigars and a bottle of whiskey. And the thought was maybe you could get this as sell it to folks who wanted
Boy
it.
Scouts.
There you go. And sell it to the kids. Sell it to the children.
I'm sorry. No, don't do that. I couldn't resist. We could sell it to Boy Scouts. Yeah. Here, kids, here's some whiskey and cigars. Smoke up and drink like there's no tomorrow. Because there may not be.
To be able to do that for like $250 for a box of cigars and a bottle of whiskey that was, commemorative fine piece. And the people that enjoy that are going to want to do it, and it becomes memorable. And those are the ones where you save the cigar box and you save the empty bottle, because now you have this wonderful memory that comes with it.
When I was a kid, cigar boxes held my toys. When I was a late adolescent, cigar boxes were a juggling format, cigar boxes. W.C. Fields. Yep. William Duncanfeld. But
for a time, I was making clocks with all the empty cigar boxes I could get my hands.
Here is one of his clocks, folks, right there on my wall. There we go.
Yep. And I still love to do it. I'd like to make some more. They were great because people who enjoy that as a kind of a kitschy thing, go up and it works.
My mother and I are fighting, but as of 3 years ago when I was over there last, the one you made my father is still on the wall in the dining room.
Nice.
So there's your immortality. Hey! I already did the intro, so after your camera's turned on, you can just introduce yourself.
All right, hold on. I'm making echoes.
Sorry. Echoes from beyond.
The echoes of my mind.
The echoes of yesterday. Ruckus.
I tried to start my stream, but my broadcast software wants to update and wouldn't take no for an answer. And that always breaks shit, so.
He's tiny and destructive. With his big white boots. Ruckus. Wiggles.
Is that the Ruckus?
That's the Ruckus. And then this is Mr. Wiggles. So I have decided, Clay and I were talking about it, and I didn't want to mention it online streaming, but since it's happening now, I've decided to put the camera pointed down to the floor and just eventually, when we get editing, have a cat count. And I think you should have one with the dog. See, Panda doesn't really count because you have to like pick him up. But
No, he's laying up against the door right here.
Well,
when I'm home, he hangs out by me. Period.
Nice. I noticed that episode 63, the crazy episode. It was really the first episode where I pointed the camera down because I wanted to get her dogs in the shot. And that ended up capturing a lot more than I wanted to record. And then I noticed that since I've done that, they walk behind me a lot more than I realized during the 3-hour podcast. And it's kind of like watching fish now. It's like, he's talking about some... Oh, there goes another one of his cats. Okay, he's talking about stuff.
My former cat, Flag.
From The Dragon's Eye, from Stephen King.
He was actually named Randall Flag after the villain in The Stand.
He used that name a couple times, I heard. I really tried to get into The Dragon Eye. I think I got maybe 30
Eye
pages
of the Dragon
in.
was not a horror story. It was a murder mystery. And
it was boring as shit.
It was okay.
Okay, sorry. I didn't finish it, so I shouldn't.
It wasn't great. It was okay.
Don't listen to me. I did not finish the book. It sucked. Don't listen to me. I didn't...
The only good part about it was the same villain from The Stand.
Is it really the same?
Oh. At the end of Eyes of the Dragon, he goes walking into the cornfields and appears in modern America. Yes.
That's kind of cool. I did not know that. All right, I won't bash the book so much in the future.
But yeah, now Panda, my daughter named, but we always name our cats after villains. My cat was Shere Khan. My wife's cat was Randall Flag. Flag was a camera ham. He knew when you were taking pictures because he'd pose for them.
Oh. Shere Khan in the Disney cartoon is probably one of the best written villains ever. The Jungle Book is great, and it's especially great from Disney because, it's one of the last that Walt... excuse me, was alive to oversee, but Baloo, Bagheera, and the wolves are really Mowgli's only safe haven. Everyone else is out to use, destroy, or devour him. And there's a lot of the modern day life lessons in that story.
Some of my favorite music in that movie.
I was just going to start singing, I want to be like you.
Now I'm the king of the swinging boy, the jungle VIP. I made the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me.
I want to be a man.
I want to be a man cub.
Stroll right into town. And
I know all of the bare necessities, too.
Oh, I love those. I'm tired of mugging around.
When my kids were young, I bought them 5 cassette volume of classic Disney.
Oh.
It's no longer available because it had stuff from Song of the South and some of the other stuff that's not allowed anymore. I wish I had them.
Zippity-yay, my oh my. I know it's incredibly
racist. It's going to be a zippity-doo-dah day.
But
that's the kind of a day where you can't open your mouth without a song jumping right out of it. Uncle Remus was the man.
Uncle Remus, Pete's Dragon, the Apple Dumpling Gang, all of those old Pippi Longstocking, Private Eyes, all of those old 80s. There was like 3 Benji movies, Condor Man,
Herbie
Black
the
Hole,
Love Bug.
all those Herbie the Love Bug movies that kept what's-his-name's career going. Oh, hey,
Ken Jones. Ken Jones and Don Knotts.
And,
was it Don Knotts?
No.
No, Tim Conway.
No, the other comedian.
Buddy Hackett.
Thank you. It was right on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't remember his name.
You ever see his stand-up? He is absolutely filthy.
Yes, he's like Bob Saget, where it's like, if you thought he was going to be like America's Funniest Home Videos, or like Eddie Murphy, if you thought I was going to be here at the show with that buckwheat wig on, boy, are you in for a surprise. If you brought your kids, they're going to learn something tonight. I don't do none of that Saturday Night Live shit on stage.
The band Disturbed last year in concert, and their lead singer, David, always brings a child up on stage during the concert, usually with their parents.
Oh.
But yeah, just... And
Just
he's like, he's talking about, he's like, I know there's a lot of children here tonight, and, you know, there's people that say you shouldn't bring your kids to our shows, but we don't do anything violent here. Just a little bit of profanity, and a little bit of profanity never hurt anybody, did it?
The problem with taking your kids to a PG-13 or higher show is the band may be fine, but they can't regulate what people are in the audience are doing or saying. You've seen all kinds of stuff at concerts, folks. Or raves. God, I miss raves. God, I miss young enough to go to... Anyway, I'm an old man now.
We used to think outside the box. We have become the box.
Raves were awesome. Just going to a random warehouse in some industrial district, either in downtown Phoenix or somewhere in Mesa. And you're like, what is this? Oh, there's a bunch of cars. And then you don't see anything, but as soon as you get out of the vehicle, there's some fucking huge dudes standing next to a tiny guy. The tiny guy's like, hey man, $10. Okay. How long is this going to be open? I don't know. Sun comes up, 7 a.m. $10. Here you go. I want to dance all fucking night, man. This is nirvana to me. Don't you worry about heaven after you die. I've been there. It's a rave. You pay $10, you can dance till the sun comes up. It's the greatest thing ever. It's weird now if I was an old man to go there, but at 22...
Yeah, I wouldn't quite fit in anymore.
They need to do that. Oh, go, Rob. Sorry.
I was the river bottom crowd. We used to go.
That was me.
Was way the hell out in the middle of nowhere. Now is the middle of a great big, complex.
The Agua Fria River. Yeah, we went out and partied in the. I grew up on the west side, so the Agua Fria River was our go-to.
Yep. The Agua Fria.
Never any water in it.
Well, monsoon season there is. Maybe.
Not much.
Maybe.
That used to be so much when you get out there, and there was every kind of music, and half the time the sheriff's deputies would roll through and check and do kind of a cursory thing. All right, how many of you under 21s are anywhere near beer? I don't want to see it. And then they roll out, and everybody's back to having a good time.
Yeah, because there's just too many of you to bust.
The one time we got a bunch of sheriff's department people out there is somebody decided to start a fire under the Indian School Bridge on Agua Fria Road.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't too bad until somebody threw a roll of carpet on that. And then the big billows of black smoke were rolling up from under the bridge and rolling across the bridge and blocking visibility of the road. And so the sheriff's department came out with several cars and a fire department truck that couldn't get down into the river bottom to put it out. So it just had to burn.
Paul and Ian told me a story that they witnessed out at War. And this is secondhand information. So
I might have been there.
That's what I'm banking on, is that the two of you were out there. Somebody made a too big pallet fire.
Oh, that was us. Yeah.
I knew you guys were going to know that. You're responsible for it.
We called it wood hinge. Oh, let me tell you the whole story.
Please.
It was the wettest war ever. It did not stop raining all weekend. Where we were camped out on the corner, it was flooded. So we had, at the time, me and another guy worked at a warehouse, and we had truckloads of pallets. And so we brought them all out there for firewood. And we set a bunch up as pontoons to run between everybody's tents. And somebody got the big idea to stack 12 pallets up and start it on fire. Wood hinge. It dried up all the mud around the fire pit.
Oh, I believe you.
At the end of the weekend, we were throwing the pallets in their hole. At the end of the weekend, there were no nails to be found in the bottom of that pit. We cooked them all down.
Oh, they were probably just
But
flat.
get this. The next year, they imposed the no ground fire. It has to be contained. You know why? Because the summer after that war, one of the trees in the park burst into flames because we caught the root system on fire. Don't know that it was us particular, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I made a follow-up video today because I went out and helped. Pete's had a really nasty respiratory infection, and apparently I think I got it, and I was fighting it off. I'm a super ADHD, super adrenaline, super go extremist. I function on 4 to 6 hours of sleep. 2 days ago, I slept for probably 16 hours.
It catches up.
Well, I think that, close proximity. We're out there working together. We're working on cars together. We're doing projects together. I made a video where we went to this place and, whoa, somebody talk.
Test?
Thank you. Okay. There's a little volume control, and I touched it, and I don't know how far but now everything's fine.
That's okay. There's a little spot on the top of my mic. Mutes. And sometimes I touch it accidentally.
Okay, you're with me on
No,
that.
it even says mute right there, so I know what happens when I touch it. But
Oops.
I inadvertently touch it and then not realize I'm muted.
This was a screen printing and embroidery shop, but they were also restoring vehicles. So Pete bought a 77 Chevy baby blue Chevy S10, a 84 square body S10, and a 57. Is it an S10?
I don't know.
We emptied those, and so this is not a smart strategy. We should drive the truck to the mega shop, unload it into the mega shop. No, I want to unload it into my Silverado. We're moving this twice. Okay. So I spent an entire day last week moving the stuff into the back, from the back of one truck into the back of another truck. Then he would drive it over, and then I would walk up the movable staircase because everything's not ready. There's so much welding that needs to happen out there, not just to secure the second story on the mega shop, but he wants to put verandas. There's only one right now. There's only one catwalk out there. So the rest of that has to be put on. Oh, hold on.
Point of reference, I had to look it up. The Chevy S10 was first produced in 1981 for the 1982 model year.
So my 66 is not an S10.
It is not.
All the videos I have. Ignorance is bliss until logic becomes depression, folks. God damn it.
The standard half ton was the C series, so the C10s.
Yeah, the S10 is a quarter ton pickup. It was a little one.
Okay, stop embarrassing me live on the. So, if you leave a street sign on the street for over a month, the city and the barricade company, I'm talking to you. If you leave this out on the streets for a month, it's mine. So I got a giant traffic control sign, and my plan is to cut this into rectangles and weld it into the Franken truck. Here's a sneak preview, folks. Episode 67. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. Like and subscribe. 100% pure barf. The Franken truck, we're going to put a flat bed on it. We're going to put a fake anti-tank gun on it. Cliff has donated. It's for a 3-wheel bike, but it's not, there's the normal seat where there's the dude pedaling, and then there's a seat for 2 for touring. Very comfortable, too. So he has one of those seats. We're going to mount it on the back of the truck. And I have decided, and I already took a bunch of the weapons I'm going to make. The Franken truck, after it's running and working and fixed and ready to be sold to the Wasteland Warrior people, is going to be rechristened the Arsenal. And we're going to put gun racks on it, and I'm going to put all of these steampunk and Fallout, Mad Max kind of weapons on it that are detachable, that these guys can use during their Wasteland Warrior fantasy. The brain never stops. This is why you guys keep hanging out with me and I'm not all alone somewhere. Going, yeah, that's a great idea. I agree, Bill. Yeah, Bill, you're right. It'll happen if I don't have friends.
Talk to yourself. Hear what you want to know.
Sometimes I need an expert opinion. Who's more expert than me? So this is my new idea for the 58 GMC Franken truck. Also, I put the big bar on it, and the engine's not turning anymore, so I'll have to get some more Marvel Mystery Fluid and ATF and acetone and...
It could be that it's not turning because it's hydraulic. There might be oil in one of your pistons.
It's quite possible. It is
Under the
leaking
head.
oil. We know that.
If you get fluid in your piston in the combustion chamber, the engine won't turn over anymore. Fluid doesn't compress.
Yes. But, Rob, I don't know what else to do to entice you to come over, and I've already started putting the gun... We could make gun racks out of, what? Anything. But mostly railroad spikes. Because, like you said, first lesson of blacksmithing is make a hook. And so far, because I got to get Clay over there, and he's chomping at the bit to come over to your house and make a hook, and he has all these ideas that he wants to do. I'm like, dude, yes, we're going to do that. Did you guys watch? Did you guys watch the? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, excuse me.
I was going to say, I actually have a couple of things that the Scottish Rite wants me to make. Some curtain rod holders to match those flag holders that I made and they installed. So we have things that we can do.
Now, you said you wanted an old truck, right? And I unfortunately do not have enough money to buy you the 58, which he's putting a bigger gas. I think that 58 Texas, I don't think Pete's going to sell that after he put the wood bed on it. I think he fell in love with it because I went out there to do yard work today, but I ended up helping him trying to put a bigger gas tank on it, and it almost fit because the gas tank is a 15 by 18, and I think it's 3 feet. I don't know how many gallons that is, but the one he wants to put on is longer. It's like 5.5 or 5 feet long, but when we measured it, it's 18 by 18, not 15 by 18. So he's like, God damn it. Not only do I have to clean this thing. Well, Pete's very religious. He would not say, God damn it. In fact, don't say that every time because I say that a lot. Sorry, dude. We're at opposite ends for that. You're a believer. I'm an atheist.
Switch it up and say, damn it, God.
He would probably laugh at me. Don't say that. I don't.
You swearing? No, I'm just asking somebody for help.
Yeah. But we don't want to talk about me pissing religious people off, but I definitely don't want to piss a friend off. That's not... Anyway.
See, the nice thing about it is that tank, it sounds like he's trying to put a saddle-style tank, a tank that runs the length of the frame
Almost.
as opposed to across the frame.
Well, the straps are the issue right now.
Yeah, you can make the straps out of flat strap steel. Or you can go one better. He's got so many trucks out there that are using those flat straps that he's got torches. I know he's got torches because I saw the ones he got. And then he's got welders. I know that. So it's very easy. He doesn't think this way, it seems. But I'm the guy that would go, give me the straps off of that truck and that truck. I'm going to cut them here. I'm going to weld this section in. And now you have the new straps that you need that fit to hold this piece in place. That's Grandpa coming in the back of my head saying,
This is why you're the blacksmith and we're not.
While we're on the subject of gas tanks, I've been giving it a lot of thought. The Franken truck is set up for both, but I think we should just do the 58 tank, the one that goes behind the seat, and then we can just cover it with metal, or a seat for that matter. But
That must be a Ford truck, right?
oh, it's a GMC on a.
I didn't know the GMC put the gas tanks right behind the seat too.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
But-
GMC kept them in there until the early 60s, I think. But
I had an '82 Ford that still had one behind the
that
seat.
tank can be taken out and put behind the cab. Take it out of the cab
Do you want to do
and
that?
mount it outside the cab, and then you just cover it again.
Yeah. Do you want to
And
do
that way,
though?
somebody feels
Because
comfortable because they're not sitting on top of the gas anymore.
it's up to you. I mean,
I mean,
if you want to
there's
help
a
me
lot of
do
things
that,
to be
that's,
done. I mean, if you know somebody, you want to have fun. What is the quintessential rat rod hack it together, hack and slash fuel tank? If you can find somebody who's got some old kegs,
Pete.
that's the gas tank, because
He's
it
got
just
like
needs
two that are
one you
gassed.
put on the top and the bottom, and you put the filler cap on the top,
Are you
and everybody
serious?
gets excited because that's the stuff that looks like. If you can find clean 55 or 50-gallon, 35-gallon drums, you can make a gas tank out of the small drums.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm sold because I've been giving
I'm
it.
glad.
Well, he's got.
I
Go ahead. Sorry.
I believe in the delinquency of adults. That's what I'm here for.
I keep interrupting.
Contributing to the delinquency of adults.
Youth is fleeting. Immaturity lasts a lifetime.
Oh yes, it does. I keep interrupting you tonight. I'm terribly sorry. We can do what is ever easiest. And at first, I was thinking just the traditional. You know, he's got plenty of those tanks out there, and the straps are on the. Back to the road sign thing. I found a road sign that I've been watching for 2 months now that's been sitting on the side of the road in the desert. It's mine now. It's in the back of the.
Is it made of steel or aluminum?
I don't know. I was so elated that I got it in the back of my truck after watching it for so. There was a recycling plant that burned down at Deer Valley. I don't know if you saw my video, but it did make the news. I kept driving past that, and as I was driving, I noticed, oh, there's a big yellow diamond-shaped sign over there on the other side of the barbed wire in the desert that nobody's watching. So now, after 2 months, that sign is mine. It belongs to me now.
Salvage rights.
Salvage rights.
Yep.
I claim this land for Spain.
There was no there was no cryo chamber in there with a living occupant, so
No.
it's available for salvage.
Salvage. The salvage is mine. Dead to rights. You can lay to that. So, I don't know if it's aluminum or steel. Now you've destroyed all my happiness because my plan was to carve it up into rectangles and weld it into the severely deteriorated cab of the 58. But the more I'm looking at it, here is my question. Should we leave it on there and weld to it, or should we take off? There's only 3 nuts holding the cab onto the frame. Should we take that off, take the frame off, or take the body off and actually... Because I'm leaning more towards that now.
Have to look and see what the condition of the floor pan is. If
Bad.
there's a large section of the floor pan that is still functional and is rotted in certain areas,
Yes.
then it becomes easy to take pieces like the sheet steel that I have sitting in the garage, and you cut out the bad sections and you weld in a patch panel over the, you cut out the bad, you make a patch, and you weld that in place of the rotten section. So you're not replacing the entire floorboard.
Yeah.
That is it's a pain because you're making the little pieces, but it's easier than replacing the whole floor pan, and the whole floor pan becomes $1,000 to buy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is practical, but taking everything off, measure the floor pan, get yourself a cut piece of thick plywood to lay down on that floor pan and cover all the holes and bolt that down, and then bolt the cab down onto that.
The thing that we have to make this thing legal for the Wasteland Warriors, it actually has to be something that can be registered. So it has to be titled and registered. So the wooden floor pan for that vehicle might keep it from getting a DOT approval.
Really?
If you're covered in carpet, they wouldn't know what it was made out of.
Well,
sneaky.
Because it doesn't have a title at this point, it has to go in for a full inspection, which means we take it in, they put it on their rack, their guy crawls all over it, checks everything, decides.
We need a drivetrain, a radiator, a battery, a wiring harness, but all that stuff is out there. Well, not the battery.
Headlights, tail lights, brake lights, turn signals.
It's all out there.
It has to start and stop. It has to be. But because it's a 58, it doesn't have to be emissions tested. It doesn't.
And it doesn't have to have seat belts.
Nope.
Exactly.
So, Cliff is not only donating the bicycle seat, he's also donating VW front fenders for the front fenders of the truck.
Those could be fun because you could section those and lengthen them, and people would just go, "Oh my God, what is that?" Well, let me show you.
Rob, I still have a damaged Ford grill. That's what I mean about
damaged is good.
Franken-truck. We're not going to have any glass in this except for the rear view mirrors and the mirrors. Because it like you said, it's got to be brake lights, turn signals.
Does the car have to have a windshield to be legal? No, but you have to be wearing goggles to drive it.
You have to wear goggles. Now, the other thing that can be done, we'd have to look at it, but you can put, because the kit cars, a lot of the kit cars used to use plastic windshield. And you could get away with certain things. The other thing that we could do is look for, Pete may have something out there that we can rob that we can rob a windshield frame and an old windshield off of. Franken-truck, as long as I can weld it in to some pipe, that is
even better if it doesn't fit right and it looks goofy.
Exactly.
Because it's a Franken-truck.
At first, I was like...
Because it's a Wasteland Warrior.
Yeah. Well, the trundle bed is going to be devoted to the Franken-truck because it kind of deteriorated in the elements, and it's from 1974. So we've got the bottom part of the trundle that's like springs and a metal mesh. And if we don't incorporate that into the Franken-truck, I'd like to incorporate it into one of our other wacky projects because I already have the next one in my... Anyway, so the Franken-truck, I think that we can use a lot of Ford, GMC, Chevy, and now VW parts to make... Because that's what a Mad Max vehicle should look like. And if you go on the Weekend Warriors thing, that they all look like that. One's made out of street signs. It's fucking awesome. Cliff's like, I can weld this to it and I can weld that to it. It's like, dude, it's got to be safe. Here's my other idea. There's a lot of exposed metal on this, and I've been collecting nasty fucked up tires for a long time. So I'm going to grind these tires down and use them as... Not only that, there was a picture that I posted a long time ago where somebody took a set of tires and just, grinded the side off of them so they're just a straight line, and they used that as a truck bed. We can use tires around the wheel wells. I want to use tires around the should we take a really old bumper, or should we just demolition derby style and make it a straight bumper and then put tires on it to, you know?
It's whatever you find is what fits and goes on there, because when people say that it doesn't fit, you say, well, I have a drill,
Oh,
I have a welder,
sure.
and I have a torch, which means I can make it fit anything.
Yes. I'm itching to get the two of you over here. We'll make videos. Because the beauty of this is essentially a parade car for Mad Max. It doesn't have to have.
I will say this. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to start having Sundays off. And my transportation, that's going to be the tricky part, because the missus doesn't, and we only own one car.
Oh. Okay.
But I just bought an e-bike, which I haven't taken delivery of yet. What part of town do you live in, Bill?
Over by Ed and Ron. I live by, well, here we're telling the internet. I live by Thunderbird in the 51.
Okay.
Yeah.
Farther than I could make on an e-bike.
Yeah, it's okay. I kind of live way north in Phoenix as far as Central Phoenix is concerned. Like, almost, Deer Valley? No, almost.
But we can
Thunderbird isn't way north.
Wait, you both said...
Happy Valley Road is way north.
Oh my God, yes. I made a video today of the Buckeye fire because you could see plumes of smoke from the 1,000+ acres.
Coffee's
From the
coworker
ranch.
lives right there. She's got some close-up pictures that are just
Have her post
devastating.
them. I'll repost them on the thing because it's. Excuse me. It was unreal because Whitman and Buckeye, dude. What? That's an hour and a half away.
We could see it from the airport yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, Buckeye is a good pace out there. The problem is we are technically not in wildfire season. I call BS because we've had a number of wildfires already explode all across the west and the southwest. This one is the first big one in Arizona that we're dealing with. I'm not looking forward to what this season is going to bring.
No.
Tucson got some rain last night and
good.
yesterday, but not much.
Yeah, we got
We don't
some
have
smattering
any
of rain over this winter.
We got teased. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip.
All I got was the smell of rain out here in Tempe. Smelled like it when we went out this morning, but it never rained.
Well,
No spots on the car.
Clay had an idea of doing a haunted house in the backyard this year, which sparked me doing that, and I got some other stuff. So when I came out in the morning, I'm like, but it didn't rain anymore, so it's Phoenix rain. It lasted, 3 minutes? Maybe.
Yep. I'm worried to the north and to the northwest now because there's still a lot of open country out there, but they're doing a lot of construction. We've got the new fabs that are going in up on Carefree Highway off of the 17. And there's a lot of heavy construction going on up there, but there's a lot of still open desert around that. And that scares me when you've got that kind of heavy construction going on, and we've got a lot of dry tinder.
Astrologically, I know we're almost out of the full moon because it's 3 days before, during, and 3 days after. But I passed three. Well, okay, let me rephrase this. I passed going home today. I left at 2, and I went down in a Veer Valley, and I grabbed that sign and looked at the thing, and I made a video before I left. And when I got to Deer Valley and 188th Avenue, there was a massive 2-car accident, and I really hope everybody was okay. But by the time I got there, they were taking the person in the ambulance like a fucking shot towards Grand to get down to the medical facility that's at Grand and I think Thunderbird? No. Beardsley?
Well, yeah, if they
There's
were headed,
if they were going down Grant, there are 2 different hospitals out in Sin City that they could have gone to.
So hopefully the people are okay. I don't know where they were going. By the time I got there, it was like ambulance on the road and... So driving up, lights, a lot of traffic. Wait a minute, this is weird. I see it was light gray, almost white, and it was Asian car, and the whole front end was you could tell that the frame was broken. Because it was normal at the back and the middle, and then the front was like...
It's unibody. So,
and it was
high-speed
newer.
impact.
Huh?
Yeah. High-speed impact. The crumple zone did its job, but it still puts a lot of energy into the impact zone for the occupants.
This car was the better of the 2. By the time I got up, now I'm behind a 4-door sedan. I don't even remember what. I think it was like a Nissan Sentra, a newer one. A lady, and she was driving good. And then, but in front of her was a semi. Okay. So I didn't even notice the second car until it was 20 feet in front of me in the right. And it was wrapped around a tree. And it was... I don't even know. It's like the way the Honda Civics looked in the really early 80s, but it's like a today car. And I don't know who makes those or what they are. I don't know. I'm such a... You know what I mean, though? You've seen them, right? It's not a smart car. It's not a Leaf. It's... I think it might have
like
been a
Prius,
Fiat.
kind of.
Prius.
Oh, the Fiat, the little Fiat.
Yeah, it was
looked like a mini.
Yeah, like a
yellow.
bug, like a mini bug, but it's not a mini. But I think it was.
I
one
know
of those,
exactly. I have a coworker that has a yellow one. He hates it. His wife bought it and then
Hates
stole his truck.
it.
His wife wanted it, and so they bought it, and then she took his truck, and then they got a divorce, and he ended up with the damn car.
Crafty
And
bitch.
he still has it. He hates it.
I respect that evil, but you whore! How do you sleep at night? Sorry. That did not look good, and I guarantee you the person in the ambulance came out of that car because personal belongings were... You know the difference between, like, shit on the side of the road for weeks, days, weeks, months, and... fresh personal belongings scattered about the dirt in Arizona. There's a distinct difference. There's this, somebody dropped this stuff in it. The wind took it, and there was an accident here yesterday. Holy crap.
Yep.
I don't know what it's like in other states.
It sounded like the first car hit the other one and pushed it into the tree, probably.
It was
I would
bad.
have to be there, but that's my amateur CSI interpretation of events.
When I see an accident, I make it a point not to rubberneck and to help with the flow of the traffic, because inside the 7-year-old in me, oh my God, what happened? Quick, we have to look at everything.
No,
Oh, look,
if I'm driving, I have my wife look at it.
That's what I used to do with Christine.
Can you see what happened?
Tell me what happened. Well, there's a guy and he's angry. Not that part. Tell me what happened to the vehicle. I gotta give Christine props. She was an excellent navigator, and by the time like months went by, here's what happened. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, good. You're getting this. Oh my God. Now we can drive and help with the flow of the traffic and be good citizens. Cheers. And not be there like, oh my God, is there any blood? Is he okay? Dude, just drive. I'm about ready to claw my eyeballs out because you're not able to drive.
I don't want to know because you're looking to see if you can see something horrible, but you really don't want to see something horrible because if you do, you're going to be like, why did I do that?
Just watch
I'm going to have nightmares.
Yeah, just watch a horror movie. You know that's not real, and that's awful. And
see, that's why I like horror movies is I know that no matter how graphic it is, that shit's fake.
It's not real.
And so, yeah.
Or it's like one of the real movies where, like the Jingo, where DiCaprio grabs the glass and he accidentally cuts himself. Or Aragorn kicks the helmet and he breaks his toe. And they kept that
scream you hear.
It's
like
real fucking
breaking his toe.
Oh God, hurting your toes just hurts so much. Can we just have one solid toe? When is that?
No.
Oh. Anyway.
Duck's got that deal.
It was a joke. But, yeah. All fired up about whatever topic we were just talking about.
Traffic and the craziness on the roads. Oh my God. There's not a day that goes by on our commute that we don't see at least one red light runner or other bit of ass fuckery. You know,
no judgment.
Sometimes multiple.
No judgment on the red light runners, because guilty as shit. I've even done it to people looking them dead in the eye as a flex. Well, you think you're a badass? Here's something you won't do. Breaking the law. But I make sure that there's nobody coming first, you know.
No, I mean people that don't care that somebody's coming.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Out here in Tempe, they're maniacs out here. It gets... I fear for my life sometimes on the road out here.
I was talking about it to Clay yesterday or the day before. When I was in my 20s, I was hanging out with Mark Firestone, and I was dating Teresa Copaz. But I had a girlfriend in Tempe, off of Southern, near McClintock, and... So it's like, God, I used to spend so much time in Tempe in my 20s. Even though I lived in northern Phoenix, near Scottsdale. And now, I don't ever go there. When I went there again, it was like, oh my God, this place has totally changed. Nothing is...
Oh, I never went here when I was young. Somehow I ended up living here.
Yeah. Change is...
I was West Side, 83rd and Indian School is where I grew up.
Change is the only constant in the universe, and I absolutely hate change, especially being a Taurus. I hate change more than anything, but you can't fight City Hall. You can't fight the rising of the sun and the moon. You cannot fight what is. You have to let the tides come in and go out. It's just the way it is, and it takes you a lifetime to accept that. And I still fucking hate change, but that's not going to do anything. Everything's still going to change. Like, the worst part was, like, talking to me at the Renaissance Festival. I'm giving you directions to shops that existed 30 years ago that they're not there anymore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But I rarely walk around there. I only work here in this area, so good luck! I hope they make it to where they were going to. Meanwhile, that shop, who the fuck keeps sending random people here to look for something that doesn't exist? I don't know what you're talking about, John.
Look the other way. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more.
Say no more. Is she a goer? A nudge as good as a wink to a blind bat. Oh, right. Did you guys watch the Frantics from Canada, or did you just hear them on,
When and what were the
Dr.
Frantics?
Demento. The Frantics... Dr. Demento. Most people have only heard them on Dr. Demento. I tracked them down all over the internet, and Christine found a bunch of their shows. They basically preclude Kids in the Hall. They're not connected in any way whatsoever. But
Taekwon Leap,
Taekwon Leap, Last Will and Temperament, The Human Race, The Gross Contest. The Gross Contest is one of my favorites. Watch, Wendy. I could put my tonsils on the outside of my mouth. Watch. I don't want to watch that.
Okay. That would explain it. Their heyday was the mid '80s when I was in Europe. That's why I've never heard of them.
Okay. So
I have a whole 4-year social.
No. I get that. They're most
public media gap where I was absorbing a different culture for 4 years. There's TV shows, movies, bands, and albums that totally aren't part of my experience.
With Canadian comedy, you've got SCTV, and then the Frantics, and then Kids in the Hall, and then what was the other one after that? Was it Drop the Dead Donkey or Exit 57? There was a lot of good sketch comedy shows that just didn't make it, that were in the early 90s and the mid 90s. But the Frantics do, like Rob said, The Last Will and Temperament and Taekwon Leap and The Gross Contest, and they have the Boot to the Head song. And those used to be played a lot on Dr. Demento locally on KZZP on Sunday night on 7 or 9 on Sunday night?
It was 7 to 9. And my bedtime was 8 o'clock, but my mom let me stay up to listen to the whole show.
Listen to the insanity for an extra hour. I love that. Dr. Demento is old now, but yeah. The Frantics.
He just recently retired.
Yeah, he did. The Frantics have a bunch of sketch comedy that's absolutely hilarious that, well, unless you're Canadian, it's been forgotten. And it's on the level of Kids in the Hall. It was that funny. They had a character called Mr. Canoe Head, and he was their superhero vigilante, basically. And he had all these ridiculous villains that they created. They had a bunch of different, random sketch comedies. One is they're at a baseball game, and you hear one guy yelling, come on, let's go. And then you hear two other guys going, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, coming through with food, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, and the other guy is still yelling, and then they get to a point where it's like, the guy cheering for the game turns all of his attention to these two guys and starts berating them. You're up and down all the time, and you don't need to be at the snack bar. You're so fat that the Blue Jays on your uniforms or your t-shirts look like turkeys. You can't even read. And then as it progresses, the guy yelling the whole time is actually the coach, and these are two players. Now, God damn it, get out there and play. Sorry, coach. Sorry, coach. We will right away. So it was like this weird. It was like Kids in the Hall, where you didn't know what to expect when the sketch started because you knew it was.
They probably didn't know what to expect if it was had any improv to it. You just light the fuse and see what happens.
There's what's another good one. I have a bunch of them on the old MP3 player that Christine found for me on the internet that were parts of their show because they had a show. So when you were in Germany, Showtime did Frantics 4 on the Floor, which was kind of like an overview of a lot of their shows. But Taekwon Leap, did you ever hear that on Dr. Demento?
Yeah.
Come, students, and close the circle at the feet of the Master, and let us meditate upon the wisdom of knowledge. And then, it's me, Ed Gruberman. I want to learn how to kick some butt. I already bought the awesome pajamas. Yeah, No, you must learn from the wine of wisdom, not the vinegar of anger. Boot to the head. Master, I want to boot some head, too. And the master beats up Ed Gruberman and all of the students. What have we learned? None of us could beat you. Let us return the mind to the body as we return in meditation.
Wow. Been a long time since that went there.
I hope I opened a memory
Yeah,
camp.
I listened to the early 80s documentary. It was nominated by Tom Lehrer and Weird Al.
Tom Lehrer. Tom Lehrer is an intellectual giant, in my opinion.
And Jim Stafford.
Oh, Jim Stafford. Well, yeah, him too. Tom Lehrer is
She
just...
rode into town to find the man that killed her daddy. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty.
Cow patty. Tom Lehrer, though. Electric Company. And the Masochism Tango. One of the most fantastic love songs ever written. I ache for the touch of your lips, dear, but much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can race. Well, but do you want me to continue? No.
Go on.
As we, you can race.
We are in control, so we can be out of control.
Like nobody else, as we dance to. But all of his songs are brilliant. Nazi schmatzi, says Werner von Braun. Or the I Love His Christmas song. Or even the college drinking song. Those are... All of his songs are great. Savvy. And his Electric Company. How do you get... Quietly, quiet, L-Y. But so many... If you go on YouTube, as we are going to be on YouTube with this, and you type in Element Song, and it comes up, and Tom Lehrer took from the Pirates of Penzance. I hope I said that right. I am the very model of a modern major general, a animal and plant, and he did the Table of Elements cattail. And so many people in the comments were like, this song helped me to pass chemistry. It's arsenic, aluminum, selenium, because it's all of the elements in that song. I hope you agree, because you're not saying anything, and Rob has timed out, so we don't. He's probably answering the phone or answering a dog emergency. But that was one of the best songs ever, because it's a classic musical. And the project, when you're a teenager, I hate musicals. Musicals are dumb. And then you reevaluate your life, and you're like, holy crap! All of the movies I absolutely love are musicals. From Aladdin to the Blues Brothers to...
The musicals that came out when I was a kid. The Wiz.
Probably more... Well, all...
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
It was 20 years ago today. Sgt. Pepper taught the band to play. Sgt. Pepper's... Well, what else did we have? Fox and the Hound. There's not that many songs in that. But still, it's Kurt Russell as a...
A lot of people forget that Kurt Russell was a teen Disney star before he was an action hero.
Kurt Russell and Robert Downey Jr. are on the same level where they, and like Ron Howard, and they're not the only ones. Clint Howard, and so... They were raised in the environment, and they didn't become drug addicts and overdose or psychotics. And not that, because, dude, Gary Coleman, Dana Plato, so we could sit here all night for the next
all of the
hour.
Rest of those that didn't completely implode are now on TMZ or one of the other quip shows where they show you videos and then, I call it the Danny Bonaducci career track.
Yeah. Even, I mean, Danny's interesting to talk to. He's, he was on that one show for a while that was great that Christine and I used to watch all the time. The Extreme, it was X or something, where it was basically B-level celebrities reacting to videos. It was
Yeah, that's hilarious. The one I'm talking about.
Oh, good. Okay, we're on the same page. It's been a long week, and it's been
it's like Leif Garrett and Todd Bridges and Tanya Harding and all of the B and C-list celebrities that they could dredge up. Yeah.
Or the other one was but they had a bunch of other celebrities, like B and C celebrities, tasting food from other countries, and that was fucking hilarious. The one guy was like, they gave him a chocolate thing, but it was from an Asian country, and he's like, this is chocolate? And they're like, yeah, it's chocolate. And he's like, this tastes like somebody whispered the word chocolate in the other room from the room that you're in. I was like, oh my God. That's a great explanation.
I love food reaction videos. There's one out there that's a bunch of British kids getting fed American food. And the first thing they feed them is biscuits and gravy. And the first kid is like, looks like barf.
What the fuck is this?
And then, one of the kids took a bite, and you can see the moment that fork hit the inside of his mouth, his eyes shot wide. He's like, wow!
Oh, man. Rob needs to come back on for this, but have you ever heard, did Paul ever tell you the story of him and Timmy getting off the plane from New York to Arizona? Oh, my God. So, when they leave, it's July, but it's late July in England. Stay with me. They have long johns on, they've got 2 layers on, and they have jackets on. Because, well, London is rather close to the Arctic Circle. It's a temperate zone, so it's a bit colder than our arid Sonoran desert. They fly from London to New York, go through all the customs and all the other stuff, and what? Paul and Timmy are 2 years apart. Paul is 3, because Paul is, no, they're 3 years apart, because Paul is 6 years older than me, and Timmy's only 3 or 2 years older than me. They're both older than me. So, they're I think he said he was 6, correct me. Because you met him, you guys
I met him when I came out of the Army. He was already here when I came back from Germany.
So what year?
So I don't know when he got here. I came out of the Army in 87, the end of 87.
So he was 17 when you met him. 18. He was a late teenager. So by the time,
I was only 21 myself.
Well, I mean, you guys are closer to age than we were, because when I met him, he was in his mid-20s, and I was 18, 19. Paul's like, you were annoying the crap out of me when we first met. We'll go, yeah, dude, you were like a fucking the coolest guy ever. I gotta be friends with you. I need to raise up in the social status of Ren Fair and everything else. That, and he realized the more we hung out, the more we had in common. Dude, I'm Irish, German, English, heavy on the English. All of my family's customs are English. My dad's grandmother may be off the boat from Germany, but his other grandfather is off the boat from Northumberland. And my mom's like, ooh, North England. It's like, that mom, they're goat herders. They're not, and farmers. They're not. It's flipped from America. It's not. But it's still, tea and things like that were normal in the households. All the women are bad cooks. I told you, we're English.
Oh, yeah. Paul was my first roommate after I moved out of my parents' house.
That's what you were
And
saying.
I remember his reaction when I put out a jar of sun tea and then put it in the fridge. He's like, "What is that?" "It's tea." "In the refrigerator? Cold tea is an abomination."
Oh my God, yeah. Until he got hooked on it, yeah. He's like the funniest
Well,
thing.
I make really good tea. I got it hooked
A great Paul story is the first job he was in, because it was hard for him to get a job because, for one, he was a teenager, and for two, well, all of his previous history is across the fucking pond. It's in England, in London, in Bow. He's an East Ender. So the first job he was able to get was Home Depot. And he was a cashier at Home Depot. At what is that? 53rd Avenue and I want to say Camelback? Or is it Bethany Home? Correct me.
I don't remember.
Well, it still exists. It's there. And he said for the first crazy cat bath going on. The first couple months, all of the older women would get Paul to say the words chicken fried steak, and then they would bust up laughing and like walk and run away from him. And he's like, "Why is this funny?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's kind of funny to have an English accent say that, but especially a chicken fried steak. You know, it's humorous, but listening to you say other words is far more entertaining."
Where I work, we literally have people from all over the world working there.
Awesome.
I mean, you name it. We've got Chinese and Taiwanese people and New Zealanders and Australians and Africans and all sorts of Europeans and Indians. Literally, we have one guy.
Pot.
His name is Jakob Goldman, and he is a Russian Jew.
Good for him.
And we used to come up to him and say, "Hey, Yakov, say moose and squirrel." Moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
And, you know, he got it. He'd been living in the United States for a long time. And so he's just...
Say fearless
So after
leader.
a while, he would just come up. We were standing there, and he'd come up and he'd go, "Moose and squirrel."
Fearless leader. Say fearless leader again. Oh my God. That is awesome. They get it. They make us say stuff too. Don't kid yourself. Say this. Okay, this. Why is that funny? Because it's funny. Okay. Shit you say is funny, so I'm not going to argue with that. Even the Hispanic accent, my sister told, she was working with a woman that she respected, and they got along great. But her accent was so thick. "You're screaming at me all the time." And you go, "Really? Am I screaming at you all the time?" Stop making fun of me. Sorry. It comes from love, not hate. It's the environment we raised in. You have to make fun of people or you'll get eaten alive by the others.
You also, I feel sorry for anybody that can't make fun of themselves. If you can't laugh at yourself, I feel sorry for you. That's why I have a lot of respect for celebrities that'll take on goofy roles and do goofy shit. I mean, Robert De Niro, one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. He does drama, he does comedy, he's done action. He was the villain in a Machete movie.
You've got to be able to make, well, Stallone.
And an over-the-top cheesy villain, too. So he doesn't take himself seriously.
Stallone,
and I have a big respect for that. Stallone
doesn't get enough credit for Oscar and Spy Kids 3. Or is it 3? 2? The one where he and Ricardo Montalban have the whole dialogue. Because he plays the toy maker, and when you get inside his mind, he doesn't have one personality. They're a council. So there's the war version of him. There's the peace hippie version of him. There's the science version of him. And they're all, we should do this. No, that's not, we should do this. And then he interacts with all of them to decide what to do. That in the movie Oscar. Nobody ever remembers it, and it's an absolute jewel because Stallone doesn't pick up a gun once, but it's a gangster movie, and he's essentially one of the dons in the area he's in.
Stallone's a good actor. He has his niche, but he is a good actor. He chooses good roles.
Yeah.
The second and third Rambo movie were very questionable. But
they were fun. Don't worry about it.
They were fun, but they were totally antithesis to the first one. I read the book before I saw First Blood, and the movie First Blood was very close to the book. The Rambo from the other ones is Clown Shoes Rambo. Sorry. I love the movies, but they had nothing to do with the first one.
I have heard that the book, the First Blood and the book are rather close. They do. Why is this happening? Fucking CERN. Every time they turn CERN on, we end up in a different multiverse. Anyway, so okay. I love Stallone, and the Rambo movies are great, and Cobra is great, and
I like the Expendables.
Stop or my mom will shoot, and all that. But really, if I had to pick one Stallone movie, and yes, he acts.
Can I guess?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Judge Dredd?
Absolutely not. I was going with Demolition Man. Because Oscar and Demolition Man are my favorite Stallone movies. Because Oscar
I thought you were going to talk about ones that weren't good.
Oh, no. Then I would talk about Judge Dredd isn't Stallone's
Would have been a better
fault.
movie if it didn't have Rob Schneider in it.
I would say it would have been a better movie if they had kept more of it like the 2012 Carl Urban Dredd.
That was a much better Dredd.
Where he doesn't take his helmet off. He's all street
Carl
judge.
Urban is a frickin' doppelganger.
That it's not fair to compare Stallone to Urban because they're different. This is why I hate
Stallone is a character actor. He fits a type, and he plays well within that type, and he can stretch out of that type if he wants to.
Yeah.
But people want to see him be him. Carl Urban doesn't have a type. Look at him in the Second Bourne Identity movie. He played the Russian guy who was trying to kill Bourne. Totally different from his character in the Riddick movie, who is totally different from his character in the Star Trek movie, who is totally different from his character in The Boys.
Red. In Red, his character does a whole arc. He starts out as a pawn, as a villain, as a bureaucratic tool, chasing Bruce Willis and what's his name? Whoops. Oh my God. It's been a long day in the desert. Help me out here. Red. Because remember, he tracks him down and then he finally fights Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis beats the shit out of him, and he's like, Jaworski trained you. Yeah, how did you know? I trained Jaworski. So it's like, the fear in Carl Urban's, it's beyond Lord of the Rings. It's beyond, he's now absolutely terrified of Bruce Willis because you trained the guy that trained me. That means 2 dojo generations ago, you threw him around like a rag doll before he threw me around like a rag doll.
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty?
Yeah, he was in Reds.
I was thinking of John Malkovich, actually. The name just came to me at the moment. But Warren Beatty is also a great actor. But Red is an amazing movie because Carl Urban spends...
Oh, Red. No, I thought you said
entire...
Reds.
Oh, I might have.
I have not seen the movie Red.
I'm so tired. The movie Red and Red 2 are brilliant. Please watch them. I have not read the comic, but... And... Who is it? Jennifer Jason Leigh is... What's her name? You've got me. Or no. Who is... No. It's not Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's... She's so adorable in the movie. Because Bruce isn't... Well, she's also in it. But you don't want to take her away from Brian Cox's character. No. Is it... What the hell's her name? Been so long. I have the movie right there, the double Red 1 and Red 2.
Mary Louise Parker.
Thank you. That's the name. Is Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm looking at the IMDb page.
It was like watching I just pulled it up. It was like Daredevil 3 and seeing the nun. It's like, damn, why am I so attracted to this nun? Why do I want to fuck this? Oh, it's Sorsha from Willow. Oh, thank God. I don't feel so dirty now.
There'll be 3 Hail Marys and 4 Our Fathers in the corner, boy.
2 whole Hello Dollies. Now get on there. I'm an ex-Catholic. I don't have nun fantasies. Nuns are not something to be desired. They're gross. They're old, angry ladies that hate life and want to punish everybody. Not all of them. Most of them. Because I've had very little exposure to them and it wasn't good, but all of the stories, I'm good over here. Sister Mary, I don't want to hear about Sister Mary, whoever, I don't give a shit. I'm glad she married.
All you got to do is spend a little bit of time down at St. Joe's and you'll never have any kind of fantasies about them.
No. Unless you got a problem and then you need therapy and help.
The last time I was inside the grounds of St. Joseph's Hospital was many, many, many years ago. I worked for a carpet company delivering carpet and tile for the installers. And they were doing a project inside St. Joseph's Hospital, which of course is a Catholic hospital. Well, there's this one hallway which was a lot lower ceiling than the other hallways where I was delivering it to. And at the back of it was a Catholic statue of some kind. And I just got a bad vibe from it. And ever since then, Catholic idolatry creeps me out. I don't know why, but it does.
The really interesting was listening to my parents in the 70s and the early 80s and how they talked about how different Catholicism and the parish was from Philadelphia to Arizona, because they looked into Mormons and they looked into a bunch of other stuff, and we're going to stay with being Catholic. But religion in our upbringing was more of this weird hobby that we only practiced when relatives from back east came out. Or first when we moved out, every weekend. Okay, every other weekend. All right, once a month. Okay, Christmas and Easter. Somebody's coming out, get dressed right now. We're going to church. We haven't been to church. I don't want to. No, do not talk about church. But I thought we were going there. We go, get in the van. Okay.
My mom never made us go to church. She was never much about it, nor was, My dad was part of the LDS church, and whenever we were up there around my grandparents, you better believe that we were hip deep in it. And when I was very young, when my mom decided to leave my dad, we went to live in Mississippi with my Uncle Benny and Aunt Mary. And wow, that was an experience.
It was bizarre and incestuous, and no, I'm sorry. Shouldn't make jokes like that.
No, but he was I want to say either Baptist or Methodist, and they made us go to Sunday school every Sunday too. But yeah, Uncle Benny and Aunt Mary were interesting. Uncle Benny was part of the White Hood Club, I'm pretty sure, because he was open about using the N word in a very derogatory way, to the point where he paid for my brother and I to go to a private all-white school so that we wouldn't have to share a classroom with black children and risk having a black teacher. This is the kind of people that are in my family that, this is the reason I don't have a lot to do with most of my family.
Racism?
Because they just, people think that racism is something America just discovered or that it's showing its head now. No, it's always been there. And it's been right out in public if you were in the right circles. Because my family was open about using that language. My mom was an exception to that rule. She taught us different.
Opposite from my family.
She broke the cycle.
Yeah.
No, my mom was heavy into it. God, my mom hates everybody, so that's not a fair assumption. Where my father was capable of higher thought. So if evidence was produced, opinions and, things changed. Well, this. Well, how do you know that? Well, this. Well, this. Really? Yeah. How do you know? Oh, back it up with all of this. Huh. All right, I won't say that anymore. Yeah, please don't. Because
I wish my family were that enlightened, but most of them weren't. But
only my dad. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wish.
That being said, people say, but they're family. You have to love them. No, you don't.
No.
There are some people that move themselves beyond the love barrier, and they move themselves there. You don't have to tolerate hate. And
I think that early in your sophomore year of high school, when you're taking biology class, one of the most important aspects that you learn is the Punnett square. And they give you peas or beans or whatever, and they talk about eye color and what that really is teaching you on an aspect of the higher evolutionary learning is that you come from four people who each came from four people who each came from four people who each came from four people who each, and so on and so on and so on. And this is a really heavy concept that we just kind of brush off as, it's a test I'm taking. Because that narrows down psychopathy, anxiety, sociopathic behavior, which side of which family you get what from, because life is
passed down.
Exactly, and life is DNA roulette. You got a bunch of siblings who have a problem, and then this sibling's fine. Don't even have that problem. Not even an issue. Never even heard of that. Really? That's a thing? And that happens all too many times because it's DNA roulette. You don't know what your kids are going to be. Robin Williams said it best. I have two dreams. One dream is I'd like to thank my parents and the Nobel Academy for this opportunity of being magna cum laude. And then I have this other dream. You want fries with that?
Yeah.
When you're 12, 14, and you have pirated cable boxes, and you see The Breakfast Club for the first time because it's right out of the theaters a year later on cable, because that's about how long it took in the 80s.
I actually got to see that movie in the mid 80s because a guy that came to Germany brought the VHS tape with him.
Sweet. There is a discussion between the janitor and the vice principal. And the vice principal, both are amazing actors. It's a fucking amazing scene, but it's brushed right over in the context of the entire movie. One day, the children that we have in this school will be running the country. And that thought wakes me up in the middle of the night, Carl. The vice principal tells the janitor. And the janitor nods in agreement. Because what are you going to do, man? This is the way it is.
Sorry, my wife's making exciting noises and about something. Had me distracted.
Oh, well, we definitely should have got those. That'll help with the ratings and the views. You ruined my soapbox, so now it's yours. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not a bad thing. I was...
Sorry, wardrobe failure.
The 30-year gap has been a big topic of discussion lately in life and in the zeitgeist. And the 30-year gap scares me because just at the last job, you've never seen Quigley Down Under? You've never seen True Romance? You never seen The Usual Suspects? Tombstone? Romeo and Juliet? All those cool Kenneth Branagh movies that are modern day, but it's still Shakespeare. Like,
yes. The Romeo and Juliet one wasn't that Sidney Lumet?
It might have been, but it's Leonardo and Claire Danes and oh god, what's his name that was also in Lost that played Michael? He plays Mercurio.
Oh yeah, he's also in From.
He's awesome. He's a great actor.
Harold Perrineau.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I don't know why he's not doing more. Well, he probably is.
He's in a show called From right now.
Good.
Which is kind of like Lost, but it's weird. I can't even explain it to you. It's so weird. But we're 4 seasons in, and it's weird.
I got to season 3, like probably 4 episodes in on Lost, and Ben became a main character. But hands down, from episode 1 to what I saw, Michael is the most dangerous person on the island, because all through the first 2... Walt! He's like Marlin in Finding Nemo. Nemo! A parent trying to protect a child is the most dangerous animal in your area, i.e. mother bears, mother honey badgers, mother wolverines, mother badgers, because my child's safety is more important than your life. And that's DNA. That's not right or wrong. Right or wrongs are human social. That's wrong. Well, yes, it is, but right or wrong is a human concept, not a karma concept. Doing bad things is wrong, and you will be punished for that, but Michael trying to get Walt off the island is his only focus. He doesn't care about building the community, or all he cares about is getting off the island to get his son back to society. Yes?
Yeah, people, tribalism of people kind of plays to good and evil. What you might consider, self-defense or, preservation of the clan, the people you're doing it to might think you're evil. Yeah. But is it really evil? The small e evil, I guess, could be a point of view.
It is. And I don't want to put this into the D&D spectrum either of alignment, but yeah, because The ends justify the means. It's Falling Down with Michael Douglas. I'm the bad guy? Yeah, you are. Because you've gone so far, because you're focused on fixing everything, you fucked everything up. And this just isn't that movie. That's a life lesson for every male above 22.
That movie.
I mean, is that
Awesome movie. Iron Maiden even wrote a song about it.
It's another movie that everybody should watch, like Full Metal Jacket and... Oh, God, what's another one?
Because you can identify with him.
Yeah.
Big time.
Dude, he just wants to fix his family, but it's beyond fixing. So he just wants to end. He just doesn't get it. And there's so many men. I don't understand. You did this. You're wrong. Am I?
No, he is the rage that we have all felt. He did the things we have all wanted to do. You know, haven't you ever just been so mad at a fast food restaurant that you wanted to flip out?
Yes, but I would never do that because I've worked at fast food.
Exactly. But you wanted to. And but that's, I think that movie was kind of cathartic in the yes. Like when he was out in the abandoned field and the two
Hispanic
kids come
guys
up and
get-
started messing with him.
You want your briefcase. You can't have my briefcase. Then later you find out all his briefcase has in it is his lunch. Kill you for my lunch, man. Yeah, that's most dudes on the work site, too. Don't fuck with their lunch. Have either
Kat
of you
asked what
read
we were
the...
talking about.
Oh, go ahead.
No, she had asked what we were talking about, so I told her.
Well, now I
Have
want
we read what?
Fight Club.
I started to read it, but I have not finished it.
Okay. I've never read
Because
it.
my copy of the book, I don't know where it went.
I have a copy of the movie. I've probably seen the movie 4 times.
I love the movie and I love the message.
Yeah. Edward
The
Norton.
message is plural.
Well, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt are really a dynamic duo. I hope they make another movie in the future. They're on the level of, I want to see them like take down another organization, as I want to see Dan Castellaneta and oh God, what's his name? Play brothers that hate each other. Oh shit. Hold on. Age. Behold the ravages of age. Help us, IMDb. You're the only one. Jeffrey Combs. I couldn't remember the last name. I want to see Dan Castellaneta and Jeffrey Combs play brothers and cousins that fucking hate each other and just try to destroy each other for 2 hours. I think that would make me happy. Well, they're both such talented actors. You want to see them play. I want to write a movie for them that's like Dumb and Dumber, but instead of the whole movie of Dumb and Dumber, you go, okay, he's a stupid. No, he's a stupid. No, he's dumber than. Okay, no, that was. He's dumber. No, he's dumber. So for this movie that I would love to create if I had a magic wand, okay, he's more evil than. Oh no, that was more fucked up. Oh no, that was. And then at the end of the movie, you have like some really old lady actor who's super famous, and she's just crying. All I ever wanted was for you boys to get along and to build. And they don't realize what they've done because it's just become such a crescendo of the Tower of Babel. Unfortunately, I think if we all put our heads together, but by then they're going to be 2 old men trying to destroy one another. I think that would be a really great movie. I think another great movie would be Michael Keaton really doesn't get any credit for being in Cars? Because he's just an absolute egomaniac dick in Cars. And they never talk about Chick Hicks. They only talk
I
about
love that movie.
Yeah.
Filmed here, by the way.
It real Dynaco Blue. Cars was when Radiator Springs was filmed in Arizona.
Oh, yes.
Probably.
Oh, I thought you meant. I was thinking Used Cars.
Oh, Used Cars was filmed here, but Michael Keaton's not in that movie.
No, I know he's
Kurt
not
Russell
in that
is, and he's amazing in it. I love Used Cars.
You're right. Michael Keaton in Cars is an evil dick.
He's a kid-friendly version of the asshole, the absolute asshole he plays in Pacific Heights. Because he just...
I actually went and saw that movie in the theaters.
Really? I saw it on VHS, so... It was like Pacific... Michael Keaton's in this, and Matthew Modine, and,
I don't remember the chick.
Griffin.
Melanie Griffith?
Her. Thank you. Cherry 2000. And you watch the movie and you're like, the movie starts out and you're like, hey, Michael Keaton's getting busy with the... Wait a minute, what's going on? Here comes like 12 dudes in trucks. They're beating the shit out of him and he's laughing. What the fuck is going... And then he's a sociopath. He just uses people and destroys them and just doesn't care. And that's what the movie is. And he rents an apartment from Matthew Modine and Melanie Griffith, and he
just becomes the terror tenant.
And it's... The problem with the public is they don't understand the stage. They don't understand that acting is both comedy and tragedy. So they want to say Michael Keaton is a comedy actor, so he can never play a serious role. Have you seen Clean and Sober? Have you seen My Life? Have you seen... Michael Keaton can bring you to tears as much as Night Shift and Mr. Mom and Gung Ho and Multiplicity and that's acting. Same thing as Jim Carrey. You want to remember him for Ace Ventura and The Mask.
I try not to.
But you don't want to remember him for Number 23 and The Majestic and what's Simon Birch? Is that... He narrates it, but it's a fucking horrible story. The little boy dies at the end. He dies a hero, but he still drowns, saving all the kids on the bus. And it's...
That one I haven't seen.
It's Jim Carrey that you haven't seen because he's not the goofy Peggy Sue Got Married or Once Bitten
I'm not
character.
into the goofy Jim Carrey. I prefer the serious stuff.
You prefer the Truman Show and
yeah.
all of the
I
other
didn't
movies.
really care for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I thought it was horrible.
They're fun. They're goofy. They're stupid. Take them for what they are. You're not going to find the secret of life into them. Just laugh. They're no more serious than Tommy Boy.
I thought the jokes were just bad and forced.
Yes.
Liar, 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 liar was hilarious.
It was well done.
Now, see, that was I do like some of his comedy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have never seen Dumb and Dumber because I've had no desire to.
The problem with being in your 50s is Jim Carrey started out as a young stand-up comedian on Comic Relief. And one of his best gigs is he had his arm pulled up when they introduced him. You guys remember? Behind his neck. And he said, I promise there will be I promise there will be absolutely no physical comedy in my act. and then he would put the microphone on the stand, turn sideways, and immediately do a jump pratfall backwards and land on his shoulder blades. Stand up, dust himself off, and go, I don't know where that came from, and then go into imitations.
Of Jim Carrey. My first memory of Jim Carrey is he was the first celebrity victim in the Clint Eastwood movie Deadpool. In the Dirty Harry movie. He was the first celebrity to die.
He basically played Axl Rose in the movie. And even like Slash and the rest of them were like, we like this actor. We don't know, we barely know Jim. And then he went on to be more famous than Guns N' Roses. How is that?
Yeah.
Because Jim Carrey is double-sided. He has this... He wants to be a serious actor, but everybody's no, you're the Grinch. You're gonna, you're Vase Ventura. You're Dumb and Dumber. Dude, he's also all these other things. It's the same as, Bruce Willis is the raccoon in Over the Hedge, but he's also Color of Night. He's also Die Hard. He's also all these other characters. Because that's the problem of Hollywood, is you have to do the goofy movies, and you also have to do the serious stuff.
Or you get pigeonholed.
Another actor that gets stuck all the time, and I've been thinking about him a lot lately, probably because The Mummy, Brandon Fraser, and so the actor that plays the little scumbag guy, better to be the devil than his right hand.
Oh, Benny. Benny was the character's name.
Okay. That guy has been in a shit ton of movies, but he usually plays a scumbag character.
He played basically the exact same character in Van Helsing, which was directed by the same guy that did the Mummy movies.
My favorite, and it's sad, but he does a very good job, is his portrayal in Canadian Bacon with John Candy and Rhea Perlman. Have you both seen the movie?
I have, but it's been a long time.
Been a long time. Give me 2 minutes. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm terribly sorry.
So let's talk bad about him while he's gone. No. We shan't do that. So, let's conspire. Let's talk about our next game night. Have we decided that the 23rd is going to be that day?
So.
And that I believe Mr. Edward offered up his abode.
Yeah, I do believe that Ed wanted to host.
We'll have to keep tabs on the weather. It should be fine. Me, I can endure heat as long as there's shade.
Yeah. I would enjoy it, and I believe that Isabel and Zach will be available because I believe that volleyball is over.
Okay. Because I think what I'm going to do for that one is I think the one-shots that we've been doing have gone over very well, and I think I'm going to shift over to doing that from the linear adventure that we had been doing. It just works out better. And I think the next session is going to end up being a sequel to the last one. In the last one, you broke the curse on the village and saved Aunt B. But, the hags are off trying to spoil the royal feast. And you're going to have to go try to save the royal feast and the king from the three witches.
That will be interesting. I like the one-shots. They're a lot of fun, but we have the continuity because we're carrying the same crowd, we're following the same overall lines, and we're getting the opportunity to bring everyone through. But like you said, it's a one-shot. We can finish this part of the adventure. Everybody gets to build their skills and bring themselves to a more of a standardized level of play.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's having a really good time. It was great for Antonio's friend. She showed up. She jumped in like Isabel had. She was just having a wonderful time.
Now, is she coming to this month's game?
We will have.
No, I haven't spoken to Antonio about that, but I would hope so. I asked her at the last time, and she said she wanted to play again.
Nice.
Antonio is in Miami right now, I guess. He just posted something I saw from one of the World Cup. I think it's one of the World Cup games. He was posted some live video from one of the soccer games in Miami. So,
well, Ed wanted to have the game at his house. So,
yep. I was just telling Rob, I think that Zach and Isabel will be available. So if we set the 23rd, we just put the word out, everybody's going to yay or nay, and we'll run with it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I would like to do is after this next one shot is I think I want to switch gears and teach everybody a different game. But if I do that, then our June game session won't be a game. It'll be what we call a session 0.
Making
characters. However, I'm worried that we might have a problem if not everybody can make it to that session, and then in future sessions we have people that show up that don't have characters. And what do? We have to stop and make them characters. So again, I think what I'm going to do is after the next game session, I'm going to describe a game world, and then I'm going to have everybody just give me the basics of what kind of character you want to play, and I'll build your characters for you. But it'll be based on a character you want to play. I don't know. Thoughts?
I like that. It works well because, as you pointed out, it makes it easy for your jump in, jump out style to allow somebody to come in without having to spend 2 hours to roll up a character and familiarize themselves and build themselves up.
If we decide we want to do the session 0, I will just have a few spec characters for future sessions. If somebody shows up and they don't have a character, sorry you weren't here for session 0. Here's one of the extras.
Here you go. Here's your halfling barbarian. Oh man, no, that's what you've got. Oh, that's too dark. Yeah.
We'll discuss what we want to do. There's a lot of possibilities.
Fuck that. Okay.
We might want to stay with the same game. Like I said, I'm not gonna force anything on anybody. I would like to try some other things, but this game seems to be flowing well, and it's an easy enough system, and everybody's got it down.
Back in the day, do you want to play this, or this? Let's play
I want to play this, but he wants to play that.
Yeah,
they want to play the other.
Let's do that. Now, what do you want to play? Dude, there's an infinite possibility of role-playing. Why don't you pick something you want to DM, and then we'll just make
that's
characters.
Why I came to with you. Is like, I want to play this. You want to join me?
Yeah.
And that's why I did the Castles and Crusades, because
that makes sense.
If I let everybody else decide, we'd be playing 5th edition D&D, which there's not a problem with that. Well, no. I have all the books, but been there, done that, and I like this better for a group. I think it's better that people are learning on a game that's like the ones we grew up playing.
Yeah. What do you want to play? Superheroes, cyberpunk, D&D, Robotech. All right, fucking A. We're playing riffs. Jesus. Everyone's happy now. Let's go hunt vampires in the Rio Grande. I'm an old cowhand on the Rio Grande. Because the vampires are not like vampires in other games. They're animals, basically.
Huh.
Well, I mean, they're dead. You know, they're undead.
There was I forget which streaming service it was on, but there was a TV series based on the why can't I think
Was it Riffs or White Wolf?
No, it was the movie I'm trying to think
Kindred,
of. Is
the
From Dusk
Embraced.
Till Dawn.
Oh, really?
Oh,
There was a TV series based on it that basically retold the story and expanded it into 2 seasons
Wow.
and expanded beyond it. And they talked about the vampires in that movie, and they had a name for them, Culebra, because if you remember, what was the difference between the vampires in From Dusk to Dawn and your traditional vampires?
I don't remember.
Traditional vampires are bat forms. The vampires in From Dusk Till Dawn were snakes.
Really? Huh.
Really, go back and watch it.
I
They
would
were
have to
snakes.
watch
They had
it again,
snake
yeah.
fangs. They had slit eyes. Yes. From Dusk Till Dawn, they were Culebra. They were a snake variety of
Once
vampires.
Selma Hayek came on, I don't remember much after that.
Yes. Well, she's like the
She
main
can
bad guy.
be anything she wants.
She's the main bad guy
I
in
remember-
the TV series, but the TV series is very good because it goes much more into the psychosis of the Richie character that is played by Quentin Tarantino. Because, of course, just like in the movie, he becomes a vampire.
It was the weakest. That movie was 2 different movies that Tarantino and Rodriguez put together and then ran with it. Because you watch the first half and then you get into the second half and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
The first half was a Tarantino movie. The second half was a Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, the first half is like, okay, this is weird for the sake of weird. And then the second half is like, cool, this is like a Saturday morning movie. Yes, kill the vampires, kill them
Did
all.
you ever see the movie Grindhouse?
Parts
It was
of it.
it was a double feature with
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino and a Robert Rodriguez movie. The best part about those movies was the trailer for Machete that was in between them.
Best part about Tarantino is if someone else directs his movies. Like
Not a
True-
fan, huh?
Like True Romance. I've seen them all. They're great. But the best movie he ever wrote was True Romance, and Tony Scott directed it. No? Yes? Guys?
Yeah.
Eh?
It was a good movie. You're right.
All-star cast. I mean, it's basically James Gandolfini and Samuel Jackson's first movies. They have tiny bit parts, but put them on the map. Because of True Romance, Samuel Jackson was able to play the robber in Coming to America, which that launched his career.
I
Because
almost forgot he was in that.
everybody started imitating him, and then he started getting parts. Because he was such a memorable thug. It's the
I
equivalent...
like that he can play against that type as well.
Oh, he's a versatile actor. It's the same level of talent for Chris Rock in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, because nobody remembers that he's this comic like, how much for some ribs? 29 cents. 29 cents? Because he's an over-the-top stereotype, it makes it that much more funny because he's over-the-top stereotype in a movie about stereotypes. Who the hell are
I'm
these
gonna
guys?
get you, sucker. That was a Wayans brother movie, right?
It's a fantastic movie, but yes.
My favorite Wayans brother movies is Amazon Women on the Moon.
I love it. All the Wayans Brothers movies are good. I loved In Living Color. That's what launched Jim Carrey's career after Once
I was
Bitten.
going to say Jim Carrey himself will tell you that, they ask, are you racist? He's like, a black guy gave me my start in show business when nobody else would. How could I be racist?
Yeah. The funniest thing Jim Carrey did in his, well, it wasn't the funniest thing because his stand-up was hysterical. He goes, I absolutely love the Rodney King riots. How about you? I just put the sticker on my back, black owned. Puh. Come on, guys, let's go. I was carrying TVs and I was... But if you go back and you watch In Living Color, dude, it's fucking hysterical.
My favorite Jim Carrey from In Living Color was when he, did a crossover of Billy Ray Cyrus's Achy Breaky Heart, and he was Reginald Denny with his Achy Breaky Head.
It's hard to pick a favorite Jim Carrey character on that show. But I would have to say the Juice Weasel skit was one of my favorites besides all of the Fire Marshal Bill. Juice Weasel! Because it was just so... He's the best at being over the top. And when you can find the right writing mix to let him be... It was the equivalent of Dan Aykroyd in the Bassomatic. Everything just lined up correctly. It was all of the best talent doing all of the best work to produce a really funny, what is that, like 4 minutes? Because it isn't just Jim Carrey being, whoops. It isn't just Jim Carrey being that crazy character. David Alan Grier sells it. Because he puts up with all of the shenanigans that are going on during the entire infomercial. I'm paid to say yes! Yeah!
Oh, I loved him in Amazon Women on the Moon.
He's hysterical.
Don No Soul Simmons. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old tree.
Yeah. But in Living Color, it really showcases all of their talents across the board, because he isn't just Fire Marshal Bill, he isn't just these weird random characters. One of my favorite bits on In Living Color, and I said this on past episodes, but it's basically I don't know what the character is called, but it's one of the Wayans sisters. I think it's Kim, actually, or I don't know. I was over there and they said, don't you talk bad about Mrs. Johnson? And she goes on about defending Mrs. Johnson. And then at one point, did you hear that woman? And then the rest of the skit is all of this terrible stuff that Miss Johnson and her children are doing and her descendants. And that was always just hysterical because it starts out pure and noble. And then it hits a certain point, and then it's nothing but degenerate gossip for the rest of the bit. I heard that she gave birth to 3 illegitimate children. Oh, and
what was the 2 film critics?
Men on Film.
Men on Film.
Hysterical.
I love it.
Hysterical. David Alan Grier.
Especially that sweaty Denzel.
Sweaty Denzel Washington. Or Homie the Clown, or Handyman. And, I mean, all of the characters on there were really, they were up there with Mad TV and the rest of them. What people don't realize is now, because 30-year gap, is there were a lot of... Comedy Central was new in the very early 90s. So there were a lot of sketch comedy shows that existed for a season or 3, and then they vanished. The Empty Lot, Exit 57, Drop the Dead Donkey, and there were actually like funny bits on these shows, but unless you know about them, you can't look them up on YouTube or one of the things that's not YouTube. But there are
things that aren't YouTube?
There are things that are not YouTube that I've found. I know. I found comedy bits that don't exist. A show that I watched religiously on MTV in 1993 and on was The State, which became.
I remember The State.
Which became.
I watched The State.
Best fast food skit ever. Welcome to Burger World. Can I take your order? Carl, what the hell is wrong with you? Love that bit. The State was brilliant because it was 11 people that really loved comedy. Well, until they got swelled egos. But that became Viva Variety, and now it's Reno 911. And it was another show. 3 of them did. There was another show with a woman's name. It was like Shirley or Susan, and it was actually pretty funny. But now all of them are doing other stuff. And even if you've seen the movie Superbad, Joe Latrulio is one of the bad guys in the movie, but he's a brilliant actor on the show. Do you remember any of the bits? Because I know all. Is it Steel?
Only vaguely. I was very into marijuana at the time.
Who isn't? Oh, I'm sorry. That was wrong. I am. But there was one that was had Barry and Levon. Oh, yeah. $240 worth of pudding. Barry and Levon, how did you get $240? Don't you worry your pretty little head about that. One of my favorite all-time ones is 4 of them are at the table, and obviously Carrie is playing a woman, and it's 2 couples, so I can't remember who the other guy was that was playing a woman, and they were talking about, that meal was great, that was really wonderful. I just have one question. Oh, sure, what is that? Thank you, oh, sure, what is that? What was that blue meat we were eating? It was good. It just kind of bothered me that it was blue meat. Oh! And the other 2 start laughing. That was Muppet. What? Oh, yeah, they're everywhere around here. There's thousands of them. We've started eating them. There's so many of them. Are you kidding me? No. Here, watch. I'll show you. Gee, I wish somebody could help me count the legs on the table. And all of a sudden, in the open window, this puppet appears. Here, I can help you sing a song about the 4 legs on the... And they grab the puppet and snap his neck. Here, we can eat this at the next meal. I mean, it was wonder shows and level of depravity. So then they're like, you should take one home for the kids. Oh, I don't know. No, they don't eat very much. They eat people food. They're child friendly. In fact, I wish somebody could help me count to 4. And nothing happens. I wish somebody could show me what near is. And all of a sudden the door flies open and there's like a Sweetums. Only it's not Sweetums. It's way more dark. And he's like, near. And everyone starts freaking out. And the dad that lives there is like, hold on, it's okay. Show us far. And the big giant Muppet's like, and he turns and he runs down the hallway and he goes all the way to the end. Fall! And the dad closes the door and locks it. Okay, we're safe.
That's just wrong.
And he's like, you should take one home to the kids. We'll try again.
Speaking of giant puppets, the last Croft brother passed away recently.
Yeah.
I think it was Sid.
Yeah.
Marty passed away a while ago, but that was my childhood. They brought us the word Sleestack.
Yep.
That'll go down in history.
It really will, because kids 50 years from now will find those reruns and be like, this is awesome! I kept telling my children, which are now adults, it's really important that you see Stranger Things. Not because of the plot, not because it normalizes D&D, but because that's how the 80s looked to us.
Right, and Stranger Things was brilliant, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody has or hasn't seen it or has opinions on it, but
Two seasons. I've seen 2 seasons.
it gets better.
I'm behind.
In my opinion. Season 4 is a heartbreaker.
Everyone's like, Hellfire Club. I'm like, Benjamin Franklin? They're like, no, Eddie. Oh,
Eddie,
from Stranger
yes.
Things? Yeah.
No, Eddie from Stranger Things.
Benjamin Franklin? Oh, that's an older Hellfire Club. They don't play D&D. They have a lot of sex, though. That's not for you kids. Sorry.
No, the Hellfire Club that I know of was, the White Queen and Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah,
it's that Hellfire
Club.
Club.
Sexy time. It's not Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it can be, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
But when you heard the word Hellfire Club up until recently, up until Stranger Things, you think gross orgies
X-Men.
with old people or
No,
the
I
X-Men.
was thinking X-Men comics. That's where I went.
Yeah, later. Like, all right, this. Your mind goes immediately to that. Maybe you are seeing something that I don't see. 100% pure barf. Like and subscribe. How are you guys doing? Because we're at we're over 3 hours.
It's pumpkin time for me.
Well, it's probably should be pumpkin time for me. Have tomorrow off, but I'm going to go see a movie.
Ooh, which movie?
Project Hail Mary.
Ah.
Nathan wants to see it, and tomorrow is the last day it's playing.
Please elaborate.
I don't know anything about the movie. He wants to go see it.
So it's a Nathan movie.
I know nothing. I know that the guy that wrote the book the movie is based on also wrote the book that the movie The Martian was based on.
I haven't seen either of the movies, nor have I read either one of the books.
Nor have I.
I can't help
But,
it.
No,
Well,
I'd taken the day off because I had other plans, but those plans got canceled on us, and so movie day.
I'll go back to 1987, 88. Jason Shanks, who I went to high school with, who's still a friend of mine on Facebook. Great guy. My brother got these tickets to this movie. He doesn't want to go. Do you want to go see the movie? It's playing at Paradise Valley Mall, back when Paradise Valley Mall was a mall. What's the movie called? The Princess something. The Princess Bride. I don't have any idea what that is. Me neither. Do you want to go see it? Sure. Okay, let's go see the movie. And then as you got your ticket, they handed you a 45. Mark Knopfler. Hey, that's the Dire Straits guy. Cool. We sat there and watched the movie, and we were like, holy crap, this movie is awesome. Then, and it's... Luckily, Princess Bride, I think, is going to survive, like, Wizard of Oz.
Yes, it will.
In the next 50 years, they'll still be, hopefully, when we're long gone, they'll be still watching The Princess Bride.
Somebody recently on Facebook posted a list of the top 25 rewatched movies of all time, and I think it was in the top 3.
Really?
Yes. Up there with things like the first Lord of the Rings movie, Star Wars A New Hope,
Nice.
and a few others.
Probably Citizen Kane.
My favorite movie, outside of The Incredibles. It was my first favorite movie until I saw The Incredibles, and then it wasn't my favorite movie anymore.
Which one? Citizen Kane?
Yes. Amazing movie. Probably one of the best movies ever made.
It's hard to pick a favorite movie, because I love so many. pass. I have to
But,
give that
yeah.
some serious thought.
I had one night I was sitting at home watching TV in the middle of the night. I had an odd work schedule in the middle of the night on Turner Classic Movies. Citizen Kane came on. I'm like, what the hell? I have nothing better to do. And it blew me away.
That's not fair because I vacillate. I vacillate through movies like I vacillate through hard liquor. For many years, I'm into vodka.
You're allowed to have more than one
Oh.
favorite movie.
I would rather judge favorite movies by category than...
Like my favorite Star Wars movie is The Empire Strikes Back.
Agreed, 100%. I would say...
My second favorite Star Wars movie is Star Wars. My third one is Rogue One.
Star Wars.
I'm sorry, I can't call it A New Hope because it wasn't A New Hope until it was A New Hope. It was Star Wars.
It's hard to pick a favorite sci-fi because Serenity is awesome, but you have to watch Firefly. And then there's...
I saw Serenity before I ever saw an episode of Firefly.
Oops. Wrath of Khan is probably one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. It's up there with...
Agreed.
Soldier and I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that. It gives me chills just imitating it. Because Hal, we're dealing with Hal now. Hal creates cartoons. You know how many robots I've talked to when I was job hunting before I landed this gig? Sorry.
You know how they came up with the name Hal?
I'm afraid for you to tell me, please. How did
All right.
Clark? It's Clark. Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah. What is the letter after H in the alphabet?
L. H-I. I.
All right.
I have to sing
What
this
is
song.
the
sorry.
letter? What is the letter after A in the alphabet?
B.
What is the letter after L in the alphabet?
M.
IBM.
Oh, that's terrifying. Arthur C. Clarke has the most terrifying quote ever. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both possibilities are equally terrifying.
Yes, I love that one.
That keeps me up at night as much as the thought that CERN has catapulted us into multiverses and nothing is as it used to be. Now, I don't know if that's me getting older or nothing is as it used to be.
No, I think something has definitely changed. There's a glitch in the matrix.
It may not even be CERN. CERN may be the scapegoat to another experiment.
The Large Hadron Collider?
There may be an even larger hadron collider. Maybe it's a Soultron collider.
I heard an interesting fact the other day is space does not conduct sound, which is a good thing because if it did, the sun would be so loud it would destroy the ears of everything on the planet.
I'm okay with that. Do you really want to... One of the best memes I ever saw is humans are terrified of aliens because we think that the aliens will treat humans the way humans treat animals. And that's profoundly, terrifyingly true.
It is.
Because
I like the joke that when aliens cruise through our solar system, they lock the doors and roll up the windows.
my hope is that they find animal abusers and neutralize them from space, but the universe doesn't work that way. It pretty much fucking hates us, so I'm still of a belief that it's more like Doctor Who or Battlestar Galactica, where we're not from Earth, we're from somewhere far away. There's trillions of humans out there. We're basically the sentient cockroaches of the universe.
There is less than 10,000 years of recorded human history and more than 50,000 of unrecorded human history.
Hold on. I categorize this more into a... Let's go deep. Sorry, Rob, if you have to bail out. There's 57 alien species categorized by NASA and the Blue Book and the government and all of that. So what if the Greys are only recently recognized? Before that, little green men, the Blues, the Pleiades, all of them, reptilians. So what if it's a lot larger than we realize, and the Anunnaki, we're not the only Earth? It was all part of a story I was writing, but that's long ago.
No, we're Earth 616.
Can't argue that. Probably true.
Gentlemen,
You
I'm
know
going
that
to leave.
reference, right?
No. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm going to leave you to this discussion. Ladies and gentlemen of the Weird Wide Web, enjoy these ruminations, because I am certain that there will be a lot of great interplay between these two. And I have to go and reacquaint myself with my pillow, because Odark 30 comes at Odark.
He's got work in the morning.
Gentlemen, I thank you again for a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thursday night, we've got to do blacksmithing. I'm going to drag Clay over there after he's done with work.
Thursday night, I think we can accommodate.
We've been trying to get over
Thursday
there.
night, I'm going to a documentary.
Oh, which documentary?
About blacksmithing?
But it is called Burning Ambition.
Oh, that's Iron Maiden.
Yes, it's a documentary about Iron Maiden.
We'll enjoy that most effectively, my brother. I think that sounds like it's going to be an extraordinary evening.
You have a wonderful night. We'll contact you. We'll make videos on Thursday night.
Sounds good. Be well, gentlemen. Thank you again.
Be well. Absolutely.
Take care.
Like and subscribe. 100% Pure Barf. Stay geeky. What the hell were we just talking? Oh, sci-fi movies. So, the Fermi process, the Fermi paradox, both makes me think a lot and also terrifies me to insomnia. That we are left over from a broken intergalactic war where just beyond the reach of our vision is a fantastic graveyard of war surplus of technology that we will never ever figure out how to work, even if we could get to it. God damn, humans are useless.
Used to work with a guy that was a fundamentalist Christian, and he would never stop talking about God this, God that, God.
How limited.
And he was our warehouse manager as well, man. So he couldn't get away from it. And one day they were having a discussion, and I walked in, and he asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think we're an experiment. I think Arthur C. Clarke wasn't far off the bat when they came along. They saw a planet. It had some basic stuff on it, some organic life forms that were in the way. So they dropped a big rock on Mexico to start fresh.
Yep.
And then seeded the planet with the likes of us, just to see what would grow. And the aliens that we see are just the scientists observing the experiment."
I've seen too much weird shit, and I've talked to too many people. And after...
I've seen things I can't explain, so I'm skeptical about the supernatural, but the door's open.
I believe that everything is not as it seems. What about God? Well, here's this. I believe my father. I think he was one of the smartest men that I ever met, and I didn't really appreciate it until the last 20 years of our relationship, and then I really proved to him that, no, you're an awesome dad, and all of my friends are telling me that, anyway. So, religion only has two cop-out answers. Because the problem is with not just Catholicism, which is that's what he was raised in. So, I'm going to go to a guy who's maybe had a girlfriend in high school, maybe in college. After reaching the seminary, no girlfriend. He's maybe going to do a mission abroad and then come back and put on the cloth and gather a flock. So I'm going to ask this man who's never lived and cohabitated with a woman about my problems with cohabitating and living with a woman. How in God's name are you qualified to give me any advice? Was my father's response. And he says the problem is that they always have two cop-out answers. One, it's God's plan. That look, I need to figure out a way to make more money because I don't have enough money to pay all my bills. And if the church can't help me, even though I pay into the collection plate and I do all this other crap and I fixed this and done that, look, I just need some temporary help. I'll pay you guys back as soon as I'm on my feet. I just need to get the. Well, it's God's plan. Okay, that doesn't really help me with the money situation that has befallen me. Or, like the old man said when I was 16 in the kitchen, you get the other bullshit answer. It's, you gotta have faith that something will work out and come along. Okay, how long are we talking about? Because I need actual money. I don't need faith or a plan right now, Father, who's younger than me. So, yeah. That was my dad's. My dad believed more in aliens than he believed in gods, ghosts, magic, or Bigfoot, or Dracula, or mummies.
Like I said, I am skeptical, but my mind is not closed.
We're a simulation.
There's an awful lot of evidence to that.
Yep. And really, you can't convince me otherwise. And especially and Elon Musk has made it more popular a couple years ago, but that 1947 hypnotherapy revelation, and we were talking about hypnotherapy recently, and I learned hypnotherapy in the early 90s, and I have taken over 200 people down, and 85% of the time it goes very well. And they have a wonderful trip. And they wake up refreshed and enlightened and happy. But there is that other percent that doesn't have any experience, or there's an even smaller percent where you hit a memory cap and you unplug a memory that's been forgotten that they had from their youth that is a physical
was forgotten
attack.
For a reason.
Yes, is a physical attack and forgotten for a reason. You're 100% correct. And then you kind of have to know what you're doing psychology-wise to talk them out of it and to make them see it as being in a movie theater and it's happening to someone else and you're just witnessing this because they've buried this memory. It's not real to them anymore, but they remember it. Because humans are gross. So, there was a movie in the early 90s called Dead Again. Kenneth Branagh, who we talked about recently. Emmett Thompson, Wayne Knight, Robin Williams, and Jeffrey, famous English actor. Have you ever seen it?
Jeffrey Rush?
No. Jacob. What? Oh, God damn it. Thank you, IMDb. Save this problem for me. I call upon the magical powers of IMDb to name this actor. Have you ever seen it? Dead Again?
It sounds familiar. I don't know that I have.
Yeah. 91. Excuse me. 1991. Kenneth Branagh, Emmett Thompson, Andy Garcia. That's how high-powered this is. Lois Hall, Richard Easton, Joe Anderson, Raymond Cruz, Robin Williams as Dr. Cozy Carlisle, Wayne Knight, Patrick Doyle, Derek Jacobi was the name I was trying to remember. Forgive me. I'm not perfect, dude. I can't remember everything. My brain would explode. I have an aneurysm. It's a reincarnation movie.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
I want to tell you all about it, but the less I tell you about it, the more you'll enjoy it. It's one of those.
Then I will have to seek it out.
I used to have it on DVD, but I'm in a habit of loaning my DVDs to coworkers and friends. And then I never see them again, and I buy a new one.
Loaned a few of those out and didn't get them back, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah. It happens.
It's like my game books. If you ask to borrow one of my game books, I'm probably going to tell you no. If I offer to loan you one of my game books, take advantage of that, because it's not something I do like.
It isn't going to last. Ruckus.
No, I have to really trust that it will be cared for, because I have left game books in the hands of people that left them in compromising situations and destroyed them. Books that I wish I had back and don't.
Give me this. You don't need... He's so adorable.
Oh, what a cutie.
And
hey, Bubba.
And he feels like a crew cut.
I had to say Bubba. That's my nickname for Panda.
Bubba.
And now he's over bumping on my leg.
I use Buddy Buddy to all the cats, so then when I stand in the backyard, I don't have to go kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm yelling Buddy, 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 Buddy. So my neighbors know I'm insane, so I don't. One day, I found Steel on the street behind me, 2 houses over in the front yard, and that yard is really like a cat paradise. There's lots of trees. These people somehow, I don't know if they work there, I don't know who these neighbors are, I couldn't point them out, but they have the giant cat statues that you had in PetSmart. They have them in the front yard. So Steel loves to hang out in their backyard and their front yard and hunt birds, lizards, insects. One day I'm
murder bots.
Oh, he totally is. One day I'm driving and I see my cat in my neighbor's yard. I stop the car, I park it, I turn the truck off, I get outside, I start calling his name. He immediately walks up to me like, "Dad, what are you doing here?" I scoop him up like a baby. And he and I have a discussion all the way around the corner, 3-4 houses in to our front yard, where I put him down and he goes into the house. So my neighbors think I'm out of my goddamn mind. I talk to cats like they're people.
I talk to animals like they're people too.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Bubba? I think he's waiting for me to go to bed. He's like,
Probably.
he knows it's about the time I should be going to bed. And so he's over here like, hey, I need to put you to bed so I can get to my cat mischief after you go to sleep.
They do that. They really do that. It's almost... Cats are teenagers. Dogs are toddlers and small children. And they really have those mentalities. Because cats are like, Dad, you need to go to bed. You know you have to go to work. Oh, God, she's right. Okay. Because it's, like you said, it's almost 8:30. Steel and Safi will appear soon and be like, it's time.
Yep. It's like people that say that cats aren't affectionate. This is my daughter's cat. And when she first brought the cat home, for days, he would not come out of her room and he would hide when I came in there.
Panda.
Until one day, she had him in her lap and she held him and I went up and petted him. And I petted him for about 30 seconds before he decided that he was all into that. And 3 days later, I come home from work and he literally comes sprinting down the hall to see me. He loves me. Every night, he'll like, I'll go lay down in bed and he'll come up and get on the bed and just go lay down at my feet. He doesn't even want to be petted. He'll just go lay down at my feet until I fall asleep. Unless Coffee comes to bed and then he'll lay down on her feet. And he likes to lay on her feet all night.
I love you, Mom.
Well, he misses her too because she went out of town last week and was gone for 4 days. And every night that she was gone, he laid in her spot. And every time I got up in the middle of the night to go to my old man bathroom tip, he'd be like, meow.
Where's Mommy?
Where's she at?
Okay. Cats really imprint and mimic in a way that I never really understood until... All right. The ex-wife and the youngest child moved out, and they took one cat with them, and then they moved back in, and they had 4 cats when they came back. Well, Squidget knew the house. Squidget was a kitten here. But the other 3, 2 of them were very, very, very old, and they died of natural causes. And Pickles was black and white, like Panda. But he had the tartar sauce cat face. You know, the famous cat that had that kind of grumpy look.
The one with the... Yeah.
Yeah, but Pickles was not grumpy. Pickles was kind of left alone as a tiny kitten with a chihuahua. So
he thinks he's a chihuahua?
You got it. I didn't even have to put a cue card up. Pickles had so many dog mannerisms, it was shocking. Pickles came to my house to learn how to cat. To learn how to be a cat. So in the same sense of what you were just talking about, Christine's at work and I was, working at home, and sometimes I had a job, but Pickles, like a dog, at the time of sunset, would start out in the living room at one end of the living room trying to nap and would slowly roll all the way to the front door. And by the time he was at the front door, it was like, where's Mom? Oh, that didn't work. I better try it again. And they would go to the other side of the living room. He would like, this is like some kind of weird dog ritual for, I've seen this before with my mother's dogs.
But it didn't work.
No. Pickles experienced going out back for the first time at my house, learning how to hunt, learning how to socially interact with other cats, because he was essentially, functionally a Chihuahua.
Yeah, Panda had never been let out, never been outdoors before he came here. And literally, my front door is my desk is right next to my front door in my little apartment. And so some early mornings, because I'm an early riser before the sun comes up, I'll open up the door and I'll let him, go explore outside. And,
just a little bit.
he got a taste of it, and now he loves it. I've got a nice fenced-in little porch, so he can't really go anywhere.
Mm.
Not that he would anyways, but...
It's interesting, when they're young, they'll go anywhere. And I'm not saying every cat, because I would never say every cat nor every dog. But the older they get, they don't... Well, I mean, from my experience having cats since 2005, the older they get, the less they travel. Because it's just easier to get treats and nip here at the house. All they have to do is give affection.
My cats were never outdoor cats. If they got let out, they never got very far from the door, and they would freak out if I shut it.
That is funny, but you got to open it real quick, and because cats get way more stressed out than dogs quicker, I've noticed.
So yeah, but anyways, I think I am starting to flag a bit. I was up at 4:00 this morning, and the day is getting long. So
you, sir, are the one that said you wanted to go late. Anyway,
all right,
I did
let's
the opening.
do another 25 minutes.
No. If you want to go, let's go. But I did the opening, so you can do the close. Body and Soul candles are the only one that let Lauren know. I mean, I know it's only May, but Christmas is right around the corner, and she makes the most fantastic candles there are.
All right. Well, here is my only plug. Let me look at the Wayback Machine here, the Way Forward Machine here. On the 16th of May, on the Real Women of Gaming, spelled just like it sounds, Twitch channel, at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. We will be debuting Deadlands, Hell Hath No Fury, a Deadlands role-playing game campaign with an all-female cast.
Well, except for you.
Except for I'm not the cast, I'm the director.
Yeah, that's different. Check out all of it. Oh, we had another... The pirate game, because I didn't
Windrose.
Well, no. The Pirates of the Spanish Main, the little cutouts that we did in Santan, because Ed wants to be a part of it, and I'm sure that you guys, well, Cliff has to have a couple surgeries, and one of them's kind of dangerous. And anyway, but we tried to play Catan, and I was kind of shocked. I thought there was a bigger Catan community than there is.
There used to be. It was... I remember the hobby store that used to be at McClintock and Southern.
Yeah.
Game Depot. There's a different game store in that spot now. Dave, the guy that ran Game Depot, him and his wife Patty retired a couple of years ago. But now where was I going with this? Oh yes, they sold Catan, and they had a group that met there. Every Wednesday we went there to play D&D, and there was a group in one of their other rooms that was there every Wednesday playing Catan, and it was a big group.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people can sit at one Catan table, but I don't know that everybody at the table was. I don't know that everybody that was at the table was playing, but there were like 8 or 9 people at the table.
Oh, gotcha.
Some of them might have just been SOs of other people that were playing or just hanging out. But I guess I'm wondering if there's a Facebook group for it. I bet there is.
I would agree. I didn't check. I was only, I was posting, and Clay posted, and, well, Ed doesn't have Ed's not interested in YouTube or Facebook. I pull him in with the ceramic videos. And are you guys playing 76 still?
I played a little bit of it, but I got pulled into this new pirate game, Windrose, and my favorite game of all time, Conan Exiles, just released an update. A couple of years ago, a game called Ark, which built a game based on Unreal Engine 4. Well, then they rebuild the game using Unreal Engine 5, a much more streamlined and updated thing, and then resold it as a different version of the game at full price. Conan Exiles recently just did the same thing, with the exception that they're giving the new Unreal 5 update away for free to anybody that already owns the game. And that debuted today.
That's cool.
And I'll probably be spending a lot of time in that. I've tried to get into Fallout 76. It's just, I think I don't really care for the way the buildings look. I mean, you can build some cool things, but you know, it still has that post-apocalyptic vibe no matter what you build.
It's Gamma World, but it's more of like designed to be a group game than a first person. On that note, do you have any other plugs?
I do not. Although
you should do the closing because I did the opening. You and I should share.
All right. Yes. This has been the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge podcast. Are we at number 66?
67.
67. 67.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
I have been Jingo the Fool. He has been and will continue to be, pointing in the wrong direction, Hornswoggle the Great. And bowing out early was Rob the Blacksmith. We will be back next week with more babble and nonsense.
I love babble and nonsense.
It's my favorite thing. And I'll leave you with this words of wisdom. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Beer is yellow. Beer. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you very much for watching. You could have watched anybody, but you decided to watch us. We appreciate that. Stay geeky. Have a good night, sir.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Stop.